And we are live. So, welcome to another live stream episode of Football Corner Pod. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who's reached out, who's joining us, or who's just getting off work and will join us later. We're very much looking forward to talking about football. And today, again, I can only say that I've had the opportunity to talk to two wonderful guests. One is a very familiar face to the channel, Saket Bhai. I can only say that we had a blast talking about Chelsea, where we did a only Chelsea focused episode the last time that Saket Bhai was there, also along with his friends. So he's a very familiar face to the channel. So welcome back, Saket Bhai. He's joining us all the way from Darjeeling, even on his vacation. So that is the commitment, I guess. Or he just wants to discuss this, or probably this is his therapy session after that Leeds game, I guess.
Yeah. So thanks for having me, Hari. And anytime, any day, I'll be happy to talk about Chelsea. So yeah, not a good day, but yes, definitely something to talk about. Looking forward.
Brilliant, brilliant. And also on the stream with us today is Yash Bhai, all the way from Toronto, Canada. I mean, just to give you a few words about Yash Bhai, he's not just a die-hard United fan, but a wonderful content creator as well. And we listened to what made Yash become a content creator and also share his journey. But before all of that, I just want to say a huge thanks to Yash Bhai for joining us because I basically messaged him like 2 days ago, and it was quite short notice, and he agreed to say, "Just let me know what time, and I'll be there to join the stream, and let's talk bindas about football." So thank you so much, Yash Bhai, for
अरे
joining
ऑलवेज
us.
यार ऑलवेज जब बुला लो यार कभी भी हम तो आ जाएंगे अब तो टाइम है बट थैंक यू हरी भाई फॉर इनवाइटिंग एंड मींस अ लॉट भाई आई नो यूनाइटेड फैन की क्या बीत रही है अभी आल्सो चेल्सी फैन जस्ट लॉस्ट द गेम दे वर देयर ग्राफ इज लाइक बट हमारा ग्राफ तो ऑलवेज सो इट्स आई एम ग्रेटफुल यू इनवाइट मी टू टॉक विद चेल्सी फैन मुझे अपॉर्चुनिटीज नहीं मिलती है चेल्सी के बारे में इतनी बात करने के लिए आज ज्यादा मिली है पता नहीं आज का दिन ही ऐसी है आई डिड माई स्ट्रीम टॉक विद चेल्सी फैन एंड दूसरी बार मैं वापस से चेल्सी फैन से बात करूंगा तो पता चल रहा है कि यार क्या चल रहा है उधर एंड इट विल बी इंटरेस्टिंग तो डिबेट हो सकती है तो मजा करेंगे ठीक है तो प्लीज यार मेक श्योर लाइक करो शेयर करो सब्सक्राइब करो टू फुटबॉल कॉर्नर रॉड ओके एंड हैरी भाई इज अ ग्रेट होस्ट यार प्लीज यार डू दैट
Thank you so much, Yash Bhai. Just thank you for all those kind words as well, and for joining
अरे
us from all the way from Toronto. But Yash Bhai, अब बोलिए, मतलब you are in Canada, and how is the EPL culture there? How is it with like fans there? Is there a huge football following in Canada as well? And they have their own league, obviously. But how did you, as a when did you become a United fan, and when did you start getting into football yourself? And
एक्चुअली
also,
एक्चुअली आई स्टार्टेड वाचिंग एल क्लासिको बिफोर सो मैं
okay.
पहले रोनाल्डो फैन बना लाइक आई सॉ रियल मैड्रिड एंड बार्सिलोना
Mm-hmm.
देन मेरे फ्रेंड को बार्सिलोना बहुत पसंद थी देन आई वाज इंट्रोड्यूस मेसी बट फिर मेरे को लगा नहीं यार ठीक है रियल मैड्रिड इज अनदर क्लब एंड उधर से फिर आती है रोनाल्डो की बारी देन पता चला कि रोनाल्डो कहाँ से आया है रोनाल्डो आया मैनचेस्टर से एंड दैट्स व्हेयर आई गेट इन द हिस्ट्री एंड यू नो द गेम फीफा 14 आई वाज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड द
Yeah.
फर्स्ट गेम एंड उधर से खेलना चालू किया आई गेट मोर प्लेयर्स टू नो अबाउट देम कि भाई वो लोग कैसे खेलते हैं क्या होता है व्हाट्स डिफरेंसेस सेंटर बैक स्ट्राइकर्स क्या रोल्स होते हैं आई इट वाज इंटरेस्टिंग यार मजा आती है उनको देखते हुए फिर उधर से मैं यूनाइटेड का फैन बना आई एम लाइक नहीं भाई फिर इफ यू बिकेम फैन इट्स जस्ट लाइक यू जस्ट कनेक्ट टू द क्लब even
Yeah.
though it's City, Chelsea, Liverpool, anything. No
Yeah.
matter how you introduce, but when you connect with the club, you just connect with the club. And
Mm.
it was that era when हम लोग was like हमारा boom था वो time पे. Like Alex Ferguson just retired and we had a Van Gaal. Signings were coming in, Falcao, Di Maria, players were there. But eventually मैंने अभी तक प्रीमियर लीग नहीं देखी है अपनी आंखों से. I just saw in the videos, just read about it. And just मैंने always downfall देखा है. But I never gave up. I'm like नहीं भाई. It's just the loyalty and just love of the club. What we can do now.
Brilliant. But it's a very interesting story because everybody who's come on this channel have told me that the team that they became a fan of was the team that they actually saw them play on
Hmm.
the first time. But you've gone backwards. You've seen Real Madrid, you've seen Cristiano Ronaldo, and then you've basically researched and then become a fan of Man United. So that's
हाँ,
very, very interesting. Yeah,
अरे but I
brilliant.
also मेरा color like red and black है, like I like
Uh-huh.
the vibes even though
Okay.
you talk about the local league of MLS, right, जो टोरंटो की है,
Hmm.
टोरंटो एफसी का भी कलर रेड ही है. So I like the club as well.
Nice.
उनका भी परफॉर्मेंस भाई हमेशा they are down only, they are bottom only. So still, I just like the colors and same problems which United are facing at Toronto FC facing. Same to same. They don't have strikers, they don't
Okay.
have midfielder, and they're struggling to stay in the MLS. But इधर का
Okay.
culture थोड़ा develop हो रहा है क्योंकि many wi- uh, काफी countries से people आते हैं right इधर तो, but जो local people थे ना थोड़े saturated हो गए. Just because of that, थोड़ा EPL का culture and their culture थोड़ा mix हो गया. But there is still some die-hard Toronto FC fans over here. But yeah, but I my target audience is India right now. So I'll talk in
Nice.
Hindi, but my future plans are still to connect with the Toronto FC with make content because मैं इनको 2-3 साल से follow कर रहा हूँ and I'm also getting
Uh-huh.
more about them. So yeah.
Yeah. Brilliant, brilliant. Thank you so much, Yash Bhai. Also, a quick word on how your content creation journey started. Because
Uh,
you're a budding content
I'm still
creator now, and most of it is
no
around
man,
football.
no bro. I'm still small. भाई अभी
Yeah.
300 ही सब है कुछ नहीं होता है उससे but I'm trying each and every day. मैं बहुत नया हूँ यार. There are so many people who joined like you know from way before. And I'm still learning भाई. पता नहीं defective FC पहले पहले नाम ऐसे रख दिया था because my always name was defective. My gamer name was defective because I always
Okay.
call myself defective. I'm like I'm not perfect, so I'll just call defective. And it was honestly marketing में काम लगता है defective क्योंकि वो मिल जाता है वो जो आपको word होता है ना. It was easy
Hmm.
to get the domain of everywhere defective FC.
Nice.
तो
Brilliant.
वो भी काम हो गया. दैट्स व्हाई नेम डिफेक्टिव से बट नॉट रिस्पेक्ट टू अदर एनी क्लब. बट ये मैं खुद को इसलिए खुद को डिफेक्टिव भाई बोलता हूँ मैं. लाइक या
Nice.
बट
But
या ट्राइंग.
I made the connection. You're calling it defective FC क्योंकि you are a United supporter, so that made a lot of sense.
ये
That's how
काफी लोग
I
बोलते
had
हैं मेरे
got
को. ये
actually.
काफी लोग बोलते हैं. बट नहीं 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 इट्स जस्ट मैं खुद को डिफेक्टिव बुलाता हूँ. बट सी इफ यू सी माय लोगो इट्स जस्ट लाइक देयर इज
Yeah.
अ हार्ट शेप एंड देयर इज अ डेविल ऑन द टॉप.
Yeah.
सो वही सोच समझ के बनाया था यार मैंने ये.
Brilliant, brilliant. Thank you so much, Yash Bhai, for also
अरे
sharing your journey. And for all the viewers who are tuning in now, I just wanted to say that this is, as you can see, Defective FC, Yash Bhai's channel. So please go give him a like, subscribe. He's doing some fantastic content, not just on
थैंक यू.
United, but watch alongs as well. And he always tries to bring rival fans together. And then they have a lot of banter on that channel. So I can just
मैं
say,
क्या करता हूँ पता है? I call them
uh,
and on the comments I roast them. मुझे उसमें
Brilliant,
बहुत मजा आती है
brilliant.
when I roast them. तो comments पे they just get pissed off so much. But they all the friends यार. They
Amazing.
understand and अगर उनको बुरा लगता है तो I talk to them. भाई तो बुरा नहीं लगता है अभी आता है क्योंकि all are friends तो मजा आती है उनको रोस्ट करने के लिए. But football is football.
Amazing.
You know what I mean.
Yeah,
as Chelsea fan
absolutely.
बोलेंगे यार. I wanna know how is Chelsea doing here from Saket bhai यार.
Sorry, come again.
And I want to hear like how did you follow Chelsea? Like why Chelsea?
So yeah, so I think that even in the last like like podcast, we had a discussion. So I
Hmm.
became a Chelsea fan in 2007.
Oh.
Basically, it's long back journey. We used to see what we call as WWF, World Wrestling Federation.
Hmm.
That time, and somehow I was just googling through the channels, and I just
Uh,
got introduced to a very fine, crisp goal of, I think either it was that some goal which was almost out of the box. That is the
hmm.
D, and it was
Hmm.
just a screamer. And then I started following match after match. There was another match of Chelsea versus Liverpool. That was the first time I was watching football. To be very fair, I was watching it, let's say, playing in with my in my school with the normal, you can say, balls, cricket balls. That was the time when
Mm,
we used to play like the very, very ugly form of footballs. But never at that time it was, I did my, let's say, you can say 10th class of matrix in
mm,
2005. So that's
okay.
too back when India was also very not very much into football. So that time
True.
when I was just going through or going through a match, that was the time when I saw a team. That was the first match I was seeing, and it was a Chelsea game going through. Then I started following it back to back. And then, if you remember, that is the time, just in a year or so, we had Jose Mourinho also came coming into Chelsea frame, where Roman Abramovich also was putting a lot of people, you can say, new signings, right from Michael Essien to your my idol, your Peter Cech. Everyone was getting introduced slowly, slowly, and that is when it was like something that was etched in my memories. Ki, this is the team I'm going to follow. Yes, same like you. I joined at a time when we were not in the case when we were losing, but at a case when we were winning, and
Mm.
EPL were following back to back. So yes, it is a
I,
down
I
and ups that.
I had one Chelsea friend like in college in India. He used to bully me a lot, like next level. And he was like the होता है ना next level Chelsea fan, like cannot hear
Hmm,
anything about the club. Like हम तो
uh,
सुन लेते हैं कि भाई हमको कोई गालियाँ पड़ती है ठीक है ओके बट ही वो गालियाँ भी नहीं समझता ही नहीं है. I'm like bro. तो उसने मुझे इतना बुली किया like I was when I was getting a know about United तो इतना गाली देता था.
वो
एंड
चेल्सी का
तो
टाइम
ऑलवेज
था
आल्सो
ना वो
वो
कि
मेरा
उस
हाँ, वो फोबिया होता है थोड़ा बैठ गया चेल्सी का कि क्रिएट चेल्सी वाले को तो नहीं छोड़ेंगे. बट मैं मजाक कर रहा हूँ अभी तो बहुत वो तो वो टाइम पे था.
यस.
लाइक आई हैड व्हेन आई वाज फॉलोइंग मैड्रिड एज़ वेल तो मेरा नेबर था ही वाज बार्सा फैन डाई हार्ड बार्सा फैन. तो उसको मैं सिर्फ एल क्लासिको दिन चिढ़ाने जाता था मैं.
Speaking of Barcelona fan, there's a
Nice.
Barcelona fan in the chat as well. A up, hello Vishal. I hope the others can join in the comments as well, and we're very happy to answer to all of your comments and your perspectives as well. Very much appreciated. Thank you so much, Saket Bhai. But also, we are very interested before we go on to the football side to hear from you your fitness journey, Bhai, because it's a bit of I don't know, like I myself was not aware of it until very recently. So if you could just give us a quick
Okay.
overview of your fitness journey and how you find the motivation after just being in the office for 8 or 9 hours to hit the gym for 2 hours. That would be great for all the viewers as well. And for me.
ऑफ यार
This- So,
फॉर
so
मी एज़
I
वेल.
have yes, I've just recently turned 38.
हुँ,
So one thing what I've understood that you cannot keep your health for granted. That's
हुँ,
something that's because very close friends of mine have, you can say, lost their lives because of their not a good pattern of, you can say, eating, not regular exercising, anything. So this is something which I always thought of even when I was just you can say 20-year-old. I was never into a fitness journey, but something which I always understood that I have to be at least active. I was never into sports. First of all, I was that kind of a guy who used to play sports only on their lunchtime. That's all.
हुँ,
Never ever. But that 25 minutes, 30 minutes is the only time that I used to play something. But then once I started, or let's say entered into a, you can say, a professional world, even I was somewhere, you can say, I was in a marketing kind of a profile where you have to travel a lot. Even today, I'm a marketing guy. I travel a lot. But that is the time when you travel a lot, you cannot control your eating habits on your schedule, something like that. But then slowly, slowly, I have to, I understood that this has to stop. I have to, even with the kind of schedule that I follow, I have to mix something into it. So then I started including a lot of diets inside my, you can say, whatever I get, whatever the best I can get. If I, even if I'm traveling in Himachal for 15 days, you can actually get eggs or a chicken. Why not to run for some distance? So what I've done in last 10 years, I have professionally done a lot of trekking activities. So I've completely entered into trekking. I've done some 19,000 feet in India. The recent one was Kanamo Peak. Basically, it is 19,684 feet, almost at 0 degrees Celsius. And whenever you are doing these kind of stuff, you need to be physically active. So that's
हुँ,
something, and that's why I have been mixing my routine. you can say, with a schedule which we call as a hybrid training, where you include a lot of running also. So even with the muscle mass that I carry, I do a lot of running, like 10 kilometers, 12, 15, 21. That's my regular, you can say, weekly schedule. And then weightlifting. So I do squats of 150 kilos, or let's say 180 kilos, deadlifts. So even with the kind of the content, or you can say the weight that I have to carry, I'm doing a kind of a hybrid training. But that's something which I try to even educate to others. Let's say Vijay is only that one guy. This is something that I do as a, you can say, a kind of a community work, where I try to tell people why physical fitness is important. You can actually just include 40 minutes in your life, just anything, a yoga or meditation, a simple walk, brisk walk, something like that, and you'll see the difference. So that is something that I've been trying
But
to
I just have
educate to
one
everyone.
small question. Sorry, Haribhai, but just small question. Um, next day कैसे motivate करे कि भाई gym जाना है?
So okay, so this is a very, I would say, wrong and right statement both. You
हाँ,
don't need motivation. First of all, if you want to be in fitness journey, don't involve any motivation. It's all about discipline. If you
Hmm.
think that motivation, you'll only wake up on Monday, and by Tuesday, Wednesday, you'll stop doing it. But if it's included in your discipline, you'll do it every day. So stop
agreed.
motivating yourself. Start disciplining yourself. That's all I can
No,
say.
I
That
agreed.
that
क्योंकि
all.
honestly, when I started this journey, okay, I never thought I would be consistent. Each and every day, I don't
Yes.
need to be motivated to start, but I have to discipline कि भाई आपको बनानी पड़ेगी stream. आपको
Hmm.
करनी पड़ेगी, आपको
Yes.
live जाना
Yes.
पड़ेगा. So yeah, agree.
जाना पड़े. Motivation can work for only one day, not every
हाँ,
day.
इसलिए मैं
That is
पूछ रहा था
true.
आपको ये चीज.
That is true. There's also a nice comment up there. Easy the motivation is to look at. Well,
Coming from a
Vishal,
Barca
whatever
fan,
works for
yeah.
you. Exactly. Whatever
वो
coming
जिम
from a Barcelona
वो
fan
जिम
as
के आने
well.
के बाद विशाल भाई.
Good one, good one. And then Anoop is on the chat as well. So for viewers who are familiar with the channel, Anoop actually joined Saket by, I guess, when we were doing the podcast last time. So good to have you in the chat, Anoop, by, with also a chat regarding Enzo Fernandez, the goat. But let's quickly, now that we've introduced ourselves and also have been given a lesson on discipline, so let's try to stick to the discipline of the stream, which is to go through what we have in store for you today. So obviously we are here as a United and Chelsea fan to talk about United and Chelsea. But before we do that, usually as part of this channel, we always have a quiz where we are trying to just have some fun with our guests and also our viewers to see how much we follow English Premier League. So I just thought let's have a quick quiz to see how it could look like. And here, it would be really great if the viewers can join in as well. And let me try to present this and see if it would work. And it should be coming up now. So this is like what we do all the time. So this is like a mixture of how lazy I am, but I also want to create this quiz. So I just picked up something from Wikipedia, and this is actually an English Premier League player. And as you can see, he is playing, still playing. And the two things that I've boldened, I've basically hidden, are the clubs that he's played for that you would probably know already.
Sorry, bro. I
So do you
just
have
saw.
a?
I saw the chat when they just give
Yeah,
the.
it's too easy, I guess. This one was
I
too
know,
easy. Yeah, it was too easy.
but
Thank you so much for everybody who joined in. I think this is a bit too easy for everyone, but yes, you guys are right. It is James Milner. So great job to those who got it.
मैं काम करता हूँ, मैं
Oh,
chat बंद कर देता हूँ.
हाँ हाँ हाँ,
अब
चैट तो बंद करेंगे, मैं बंद करूंगा. But I think Vishal and Rahul also got it. So thank you so much for letting us know, the guests. I think it was a bit too easy, but you got it right. So yes, it was James Milner, and the two clubs that were hidden were
Yep.
City and Liverpool. So I've now closed the chat, but that doesn't mean that the viewers can't
अरे
get
नहीं
it.
नहीं
Please
नहीं
continue
नहीं
to.
आप रखो चालू रखो. Let them
No, no,
answer.
no. No, no, they are answering, but I've
अच्छा
just
अच्छा.
closed it on the screen for us now,
Oh,
so
okay 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 okay.
the viewers can still join in. So let's go to the
ठीक है ठीक.
next one. Who
Hmm.
is this?
This guy.
Who could this be? Yeah, this is also a Premier League player as well. So started his journey at Belgrano, moved to Genoa, and then had a stint for 2 years in Juventus, but made no appearances. And then couple of Italian clubs, and then the two clubs.
He can be Italian guy only, right? If he's playing in Atlanta,
Uh,
Juventus, Girona, Belgrona,
could be,
and
could be. But what are you guys thinking with this now?
hint दो यार.
Mm.
I mean, the position is quite clear from the goals, right? I mean, he's clearly
हाँ,
not a forward for sure.
it's
Yeah, it could be a
maybe
defender for.
defender. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's a defender.
that's a good one. Yes, that is true. He
Uh,
is a defender. And
2022 he's playing.
I'll give you one more clue. The club that he was at loan for in 2021 and
Ah,
2022.
ah, no defender में तो कौन? अरे यार, is he playing in West Ham?
No, but he is
Uh,
playing in a London club. And the two clubs that I have hidden there are the same club. So he was at loan first, and then he's
hmm.
continued in that club itself.
यार
And
Atlanta
it's a
से कौन
London
आया था
club.
अभी?
it's a
And the
Utrecht.
London club.
nationality you guys are thinking is not Italian. It's
Sergio Romero. Sergio Romero.
हाँ, no, no,
it's so
हाँ.
close. It is Romero though. I think you meant Christian Romero.
Ah, Christian Romero.
So
हाँ
Sorry,
हाँ,
sorry. I heard.
yeah,
Romero.
I said Sergio Romero.
Yes,
It's Christian Romero.
yeah,
Tottenham
Christopher.
guy.
exactly. Yes, the Tottenham guy. So I thought I would put him in
Yeah.
because of that interesting bicycle kick, I have to say. I mean, when you put all the bicycle kick compilations together, that has to be one of the most
Hmm.
interesting one to have
Exactly.
ever
Yes.
gone it. Yeah, absolutely. So that's
Silva.
just a
Silvio
small
Berlusconi.
quiz.
ये कौन है?
Somebody's come up with Silvio Berlusconi, Vishal. Clearly more of a politician and more of a scandalist rather than a
But
footballer. But
what a bicycle kick यार from Christian Romero out of
yeah,
nowhere यार.
and he scored a brace basically in order to keep Tottenham in. I was actually more fascinated with the first goal, the header from Kudus cross. If people haven't watched it, I think you should go to that header. Basically, that reminded me of Cavani. That header basically reminded me of
Hmm.
Cavani's header against, I think, was also against Spurs or Tottenham, either Spurs or Southampton. Sorry, it was a similar kind of header. But now that we've had our fun, let's go on to some very how to say sad state of affairs, which is basically both the clubs. Let's start with Chelsea. Actually, why don't we start with Chelsea?
दो United fans
um
बैठे हुए इधर.
Yes. So let's start with Chelsea before we move on to United, obviously. Saket Bhai, I still remember this moment in time. Krishan Bhai was in the channel and he was telling it's going to be a difficult game, but I'm sure that we will win. And I remember Yash Bhai, at
Hmm.
that very moment, Saket Bhai entered the chat and he said, we are not title challengers, we are Robin Hood FC. And we at that very moment, and then what happens is they go to Leeds away and they have a shock defeat. I mean, nobody expected Chelsea to lose basically.
But मैं इसका टेक ऑन दे देता हूँ इस पे. Before I don't know संकेत भाई agree or not, but मैंने अपनी वीडियोस में बोली थी ये चीज कि I saw the Chelsea and Arsenal game, but I think Chelsea को fatigue हो गया था. Like they were tired because they were so exhausted. Chelsea में rotation होती है, but Arsenal होती
Mm,
नहीं देखी है हमने. And they were coming
no,
from
that's
bad
what.
winning game. नहीं, and
So
you
yes,
guys were
yes,
brilliant.
we were brilliant. You have to understand when
हाँ,
you're challenging for a PL now, you have to have those top quality players in day out.
hmm.
Same team, Arsenal team played against Brentford. a
Hmm.
high line team, and they
Hmm.
played brilliantly. You
Hmm.
see Madueke, even I don't like Madueke, but he was playing brilliantly. You just see his no
True.
look back heel pass to Ben White for the goal, which this guy scored. What's his name? Um, Saka or someone.
Merino.
The second goal, which was Merino.
Merino.
It was
Yeah.
Merino.
amazing. It was amazing goal. So I like that kind of art. That's a romance going on in there. But you
Hmm.
see Chelsea team. Okay, we needed rotation because I don't blame Enzo here. You have to understand he had to rotate player. He's if he doesn't rotate, we'll end up in injuries. And if people end up in injuries again, that's not a solution there. The only thing which I would say would have been done better was to introduce a guy like uh, Josh against this guy Tosin. So
Hmm.
Akam Peong, if he would have played,
Yeah.
because
Hmm.
in his recent interview, what Enzo mentioned that what he understood or what he learned, or you can say his understanding of the game against Leeds was he'll play those players or those defenders who can take take on the high balls.
Yep.
Basically, Tosin being that player who can actually take on those high passes, which he failed miserably.
Yep.
So that is something he
And he
has
actually
built.
said, कि वो
Yeah, he
टोसिन की
said that.
mistake and the jump हमको लेके आना था. तो yeah.
चैंपियन को लेके आना था, सो दैट वाज
Hmm.
समथिंग व्हिच आई वाज अज्यूमिंग दैट शुड हैव बीन डन. ठीक है, चालोबा का यू हैव स्टेटेड, मतलब ही इज अ सीबी. आप आरसीबी में खिला रहे हो, आरबी में खिला रहे हो, मतलब उसमें भी वो फेल हुआ है कंसिडरेबली. लाइक ही इज मिस्टेकन, लाइक उसका पोजीशनिंग ही नहीं हो रहा था. प्लस आप एस्टेबा को ला रहे हो, ठीक है, एस्टेबा हैज नेवर स्टार्टेड मोर ऑफ द गेम्स. आर्सेनल का पहला मैच था उसका. पाल्मर को इंट्रोड्यूस करना था. नेटो हैज बीन इन ब्रिलियंट फॉर्म. The only player today which I see in this whole, I think 13 14 matches, the best player so far. If people would agree, Enzo को वो goat बोलते हैं, but I would say it is Neto. It is
Mhm.
definitely Neto. He has been playing brilliantly right now.
Hmm.
But understand something. If you see Enzo's career as a coach, he has never won anything with against Leeds.
Hmm.
Even in championship, there are two matches he has played already. Both the matches he has lost. Second, third, this is the one again. He had lost it again. And now, if you remember the last time when Chelsea went to Elland Road, we I think lost 0-3,
Mhm.
some 3-0 that time also. So that's
Wow.
definitely a tough place for Chelsea to play, and that too in the midweek. I was not, I would say, very hopeful for a loss, but I was thinking like at least a draw or something can turn up. But
Mm.
3-1 loss was something that was definitely not deservable, I will say. But the goals were very good. If you see Tanaka goal, that shot
Um,
which went in, it was amazing
yeah.
goal.
Yeah.
That was something that even
No, I
Sanchez
think
wouldn't have saved.
Leeds play better. Honestly, बताओ तो यार. Leeds did a good job.
Yes,
वो
Leeds
credits Leeds को
Leeds
जाना
played
चाहिए.
very better. Yes, and you
हाँ.
mentioned a very good point, that fatigue. But fatigue should matter. That's players. That's why they are trained it for. You have like
मैं
Chelsea
यही
squad
बता
is
रहा
one
हूँ.
of the biggest squad.
हाँ,
Mm.
हाँ. नहीं, मैं बता रहा था कि आर्सेनल डोमिनेट करती है, पर उन्होंने इसलिए नहीं किया क्योंकि पहले तो दे वर एग्जॉस्ट एंड बायर्न म्यूनिख एंड देन चेल्सी ने गिव एवरीथिंग व्हाटएवर दे हैड एंड मरेस का डिड अ
Yes.
ब्रिलियंट जॉब. मैंने अभी चेल्सी फैन के साथ मैंने जस्ट सेड कि यार उसने भी बोली, मैंने एक चीज नोटिस नहीं की थी. ही सेड कि यार जो रेड कार्ड मिला था ना चेल्सी को, रेड कार्ड अभी उनको आदत हो गई रेड कार्ड मिलना, राइट? मरेस का इम्प्रूव किया. ही नो व्हाट्स द मिस्टेक्स. यूनाइटेड के सामने
Yes.
ही डिड मिस्टेक्स, व्हाटएवर सब ही डिड, ओके, जो हमने भी क्रिटिसाइज किया
Subsided.
था भाई.
Yes.
एंड द नेक्स्ट 2 to 3 games यू गाइस कंटिन्यूअसली गॉट रेड कार्ड्स एंड उधर से वो सीखा है. एंड आर्सेनल के अगेंस्ट रेड कार्ड होना भी एंड गेटिंग अ ड्रॉ, इट्स नॉट अ इजी जॉब. एंड क्रेडिट्स टू एंजो मरेस्का एज वेल यार, टू वेरी ऑनेस्ट. तो हाँ, उसने मुझे बोला
My
था कि
my
एंजो
brother,
मरेस्का एक चीज करता है.
one of my most optimistic brother has joined in, Mr. Vijay. He's
अरे
the most
हेलो.
optimistic Chelsea, or you can say any football fan you'll ever see in this entire universe. Hello. So that is something. Yes, that is Vijay is also right that Tosin definitely is disaster. I think he should leave or at least be gone on loan. I would say
Mm.
even Disasi, or even he's playing
हाँ.
under, no, even Disasi has played like what utter shambles. He was in utter shambles when he played against PSG under 21. He was like taken for like a roller pole. He was doing what shit he
Yeah.
was doing when that second goal was
Yep.
scored. So yeah,
Uh,
we don't have. So that
Um,
is something I think, even if you remember Krishnan, that last podcast, like last lives, there was a mention that we need CBs. We
hmm.
don't have proper backup CBs if
Yeah.
Fofana or Chalaba goes for any injury, or if they're fatigued or they cannot play. We don't have Hato. I
Correct.
don't know whether he has not been tried that much, and
Hmm.
Colville, when I don't know when he's going to arrive back.
mm,
But we don't have proper CBs. If January we don't end up signing one, because if you remember, from 1st October till let's say till Tuesday, Wednesday, we have played 13 matches. Out
Hmm.
of the 13 matches, we have only lost two games. I think one draw and one draw or two draws. I think Karabag we had one draw and one more draw against one team. I don't remember the team, but in 13 matches we have lost only two games. That's
Yeah.
mm,
something. One against Sunderland, the other one was against Leeds. These are the only two games we have lost. Two draws, yes. One was Karabag and the other one was Arsenal.
yep.
These are the two draws. Others, everything we have won. December itself, in this span of next 15 days, we have five matches
Mm,
in which
Hmm.
I think Vijay had mentioned in the one of the chats, WhatsApp chat, that if till the time Newcastle, if we go there and if we win, I
Hmm.
mm,
think I'll still mention we are not the title contenders, but we'll be very close to that. So we have
Yes, right.
matches
I mean,
against, let's say, yeah, yeah,
Newcastle away is like one of the most difficult, I would say. I mean, it's almost like not this season Anfield, but going away at Anfield and really even competing. Somehow that Newcastle away is very, very difficult fixture, and
very,
very difficult fixture. And also the
very
upcoming fixture for Chelsea, Bournemouth away. But Bournemouth have not been in good form. Very strangely, they have not been doing so well. But Bournemouth away on their day, especially with how close that stadium is and that one
close.
thing being open and the wind just howling in that Bournemouth, if things do go their way, yeah, that's also a very tricky fixture, Saket Bhai. But just coming back to the point of not having backup centre backs here, I just wanted to talk about Hato, because we've always said, even in the previous ones, we've always talked about having Chalobah and Fofana doing really well, and Sanchez
Yes.
really beating everybody's expectations. Now, if let's talk about the backup, because when you talk about Chelsea, the biggest strength for Chelsea is their squad depth, and that is what everybody is
Yes.
agreed to. I mean, this model is built for squad depth. If one or two people are not there due to injuries or due to suspensions or due to their national duties, squad depth kicks in. But it's very interesting to see that Hato, who was, I mean, we have to talk about Hato because he was captaining Ajax at such a young age. And one thing that we know about Ajax is they blood their youngsters to play the most important, even Champions League, all of these matches at a very young age. But for some strange reason, either he's not shown enough in training, or Maresca has felt very comfortable playing Tosin, Chaloba, and Fofana. So, what do you think from your inside information or whatever? Because you follow Chelsea so religiously, also people in the chat can let me know. What is the thing surrounding Hato, and do you know what's up with him in terms of him not playing or getting so many minutes?
Okay. So if you remember when he was signed initially,
Mhm.
I think when one of the presser, what Maresca mentioned, that Hato could be a very ideal replacement for Cucurella.
Okay,
Please,
interesting. Hmm.
so this has always been, this is, even I was shocked because when he used to play for, I think, Ajax, he used to play for both the formations as a
Okay.
central back, complete center back, and also as, I think, RCB and LCB, like some position which he used to play from the wings. So he's best suitable for both the positions. That's why, if you remember, we had always a backup of, let's say, James Gusto as a backup. We
Yeah.
never had a very good backup for Cucurella. That is something, like if you see our squad also, and that's where Cucurella's inverted position started coming in. So from
Hmm.
last season itself, Cucurella's inverted position and then James coming as an inverted has started kicking in. They are playing as an
Hmm.
inverted CM. If you see the
Mhm.
game, how Maresca plays, Cucurella actually plays a lot in front.
Yeah.
And that's why the formation, whenever Hato has started playing, he's centrally playing. He's playing either with Tosin or let's say Fofana as a central defender, where I think he's not very comfortable, even with the game time that he has received. If you see the games he has played in Champions League, he has done lots of mistakes. And even in, I think, Carabao Cup, he has done a lot of mistakes there,
Mhm.
which I think has got into the mind of Maresca. We don't know what Maresca thinks about him, but that is where he's not getting game time. That is first thing. Either what Maresca is thinking to replace, or you can say rotate him with Cucurella. But being the kind of the bulkiness that he carries, he cannot become an inverted CM. So basically,
Mhm.
if you remember the last season's discussion that we had, that Maresca and Amorim are these kind of managers which don't have plan B. They are plan A guys. So they'll
Mhm.
always stick to plan A, try to get it better, 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 and they'll that's how they work on. That is how Pep also works. That is how Amorim. So they'll try to implement the players as per the players are good at, and then they'll make it inverted, and that's how they work. So that is where
Yeah.
I think Hato is not fitting the ball game of Maresca or the haram ball what he plays. But that is where I think Hato has to come in again, and then he has to start looking at a perspective that we need a proper backup CB, and that
Mhm.
is where his position is, and he has to prove it. Because yes, Uncle Tosin is a disaster. Fofana is definitely playing very well. He has exceeded my expectation also,
Yeah.
because I was thinking that by after fifth or sixth game he'll get injured and then he'll be
True.
in hospital for
True.
the whole season. That's for sure. So Fofana, Chalobah are actually doing good job. I would say Sanchez with the combination, the trio, they are doing good job. But as a backup, others
Mm.
who are getting chances, let's say Tosin is getting the most of the chances, he's doing shit. Hato and I would say Josh. These are the youngsters. I think they should be introduced. They should get game time. But you have to also understand from a manager's perspective, he is basically in a situation where he's in a very winnable situation. He's winning games. And if it ends up in losing one or two games, na, it's like that pressure that should I introduce
Yeah.
him? Should I not?
Yeah.
Who will
Yeah.
take the blame, because it will come
Yeah.
to me. If you remember,
Yeah.
just before 1st October we lost few games and we were all blaming Maresca. So
Mm.
Chelsea fans are not the best fans to have, I'll be very much honest. I respect United fans that even after losing, you still for you
अरे आई
still are
रिस्पेक्ट लिवरपूल
uh,
फैंस भाई, मैं तो
वो
रिस्पेक्ट करता हूँ
वो
भाई. वी आर स्टिल ईगर बट आई रिस्पेक्ट लिवरपूल फैंस. मैं तो सबको लिख के आता हूँ यू गाइस आर सो स्वीट. वी आर स्टिल बैकिंग
but
स्लॉट
still,
भाई.
if I have to rank it, Chelsea fans are the most, I would say, the new ones, the old ones, I would say, the ones who have been following it for quite some. There could be debate on that also, but
Yeah.
there are many new fans who wait to for a loss or a draw to just
Mm.
start bombarding each other. That what is this
Mm.
shit? Why is Esteva playing this? He's a snowflake. He just gets down. He's not made for it. Even a guy like Esteva, he's a wonder kid.
Mm.
I
Yeah.
I literally love this guy. He's the way that
Yeah.
he plays, the kind of
I
dribble
love
Yeah.
him
that
too
is there.
भाई. I love him too.
He's amazing. But
He's,
one loss, like if you remember, there was one goal which he like, not right now, but it was against I think Spurs or some team. He dribbles. He's a dribbler. He basically is a baller. So he dribbles and then he lost that ball and that went to goal. Like it left went for a goal. So that he's not made for PL. So that's how like Chelsea fan works. So that's how I think that Maresca is under a lot of pressure. And I still say we have got a very good manager this time. He understands the youth. He understands our ball game. He understands how to get this team to a level that Chelsea used to be. I think he could be a next Pep. Are not that is City's level
I
Pep,
think Pep
because
also did a
we
comment on today. अगर आपने देखा हो तो he praised
yeah,
Enzo Maresca. He said one of the best manager. पर वो जिंक्स भी करता है,
yes,
वो जिंक्स
exactly.
भी करता है, ठीक है पेप.
जिंक्स अरे
हाँ
वो उल्टा दिमाग लगाता है, वो काली
हाँ
बुद्धि
हाँ
बोलते हैं उसको।
हाँ हाँ. वो क्योंकि वो हम्बल कर देता है,
बहुत
जब उसके
स्मार्ट है।
सामने आते हैं ना तो दे सिटी पोड़ देते हैं. बट वो जिंक्स बहुत करता है. आर्टेटा के बारे में बोला था उसने,
जिंक्स बहुत
विंसेंट कंपनी के बारे में बोला था उसने.
Yes.
And
So
then
we
Ten
need
Hag के बारे में बोला
managers
था.
like him.
या तो
Ten
वो
के बारे
जिंक्स
में
बहुत
yes,
करता है
I
भाई,
remember.
इसलिए बता रहा हूँ.
But yes, we need to be very patient with him. And I can very in this today, I like today is let's say 5th December. I can tell it very upfront. We are not a title winner this time. That's for sure.
Mhm, mhm,
We could be in top four. That's for sure.
mm,
If we still keep on performing, we could be top four. We could win cups here and there. Let's say Carling Cup or let's say
mm,
EFL or something like that. We are not a
mm,
Champions League material ready. It's still a project. You have to
mhm,
understand it's a project. Our fans need to be very patient.
mm,
Things will improve. It's a project, then
mm,
definitely things will improve, but not
mm,
this year. We have to take
mm.
another year or two for silverware to come. That's for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
At least the PL silverware.
Absolutely. I think that's a wonderful this thing a segue into what I was going to ask Saket Bhai. I think I did in the last live stream as well, whether this is possible. And Krishan Bhai was a bit more optimistic. He said, why not? Because I feel we have the squad depth. But then one thing that probably we didn't touch upon is the quality of that squad depth. And more importantly, whether Enzo Maresca is trusting whatever is there on the bench to play. I think those are two things. And I think there's a lot of comments just coming in. So I'll
नहीं,
just go through one of
स्क्वाड
them
स्क्वाड की
before.
बात आए तो फिर लिवरपूल को बोलना चाहिए ना ये तो. Just saying कि अगर
Absolutely.
स्क्वाड की बात हो तो, अगर क्वालिटी की बात हो तो. Then
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a couple of comments, so we'll just take them before we move on to some other questions regarding Chelsea.
yep.
So, Vijay Bai is telling, and Tosin played Sunderland, Leeds, and Karabakh. Yes, that is true. We already touched upon that. Maraska is protecting the youngsters like Hato and Estivavo. I think Saket touched upon that. And I think Vijay also makes a good point on the difference in the leagues. So he says coming in from Dutch league, it's not the same as EPL. One bad game and you'll be ripped into pieces, and the confidence will go to dogs. I think as United fans, Yash Bhai, we know a lot about the Dutch league, where we just bought players one after the other from the Dutch league, and
Yeah.
yeah, nothing ever worked out. Yeah.
But I think last 4 or 5 years से एक लिसांड्रो मार्टिनेज के अलावा कोई प्लेयर चला ही नहीं. Also टिम्बर, एक
Yeah.
दो एक
Timber.
तो प्लेयर है.
Yeah.
डिफेंडर्स के
Yeah.
अलावा
You have
अटैकर्स में
signed
तो चला ही नहीं है यार.
you had signed Weghorst also, right?
Yeah,
Weghorst.
yeah, we
It
have
was
done
a
the entire Dutch league. We have done Tyrell Malasia, where there were rumors that he was kidnapped. Then we had Wout Weghorst. That was another insane signing as well. Yeah,
We
it's
had
just
Anthony, we had Onana, nah, not
yeah,
properly, but he
but
was playing
yeah,
from Inter.
exactly. Yeah, he was Inter. Yeah. Even for example, Mason Mount, Yash Bhai,
Yeah.
Mason Mount was Eric Ten Hag signing from his time when he played at Vitesse or something. He was there for 1 or 2 years in the Dutch league. Before he was at Chelsea, I think he played some years in Dutch league. Not some, but at least one
Even
year
Cody
at.
Gakpo from
Yeah, even
Liverpool.
I would say yeah, Cody Gakpo is a wonderful.
So,
Yeah, I think he's a good.
forward defender चले but forwards नहीं चले.
Yeah, yeah, that is true.
Then,
But even in that thing, Broby at Sunderland, right?
hmm,
Broby at Sunderland is
came from
starting well,
Ajax.
but
Came from
yeah,
Ajax.
exactly. Came from Ajax, but yeah, he's clearly it's too less of a number of matches to
नहीं,
comment.
बड़े clubs की
Uh,
बात होती है ना.
by Sunderland, from where they have come, I think they need to have a special mention from where
Hmm.
they were in League One to come here with the Premier League. By if you see against the traditional top six, they've only lost to United. The traditional top six. We are not the top six anymore, but against the traditional top six, they've
How we
only
did
lost
it.
against United.
I had no idea how we did, but
Yeah. That was one of the most complete performance, I would say, from a United perspective this season, I think, by if you remember. The Sunderland at home was one of the uh, matches where we never gave them chances and we kept a clean sheet. When do you ever see a clean sheet with United? Yeah.
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 You actually controlled Zaka.
Yeah,
That he is the key to
exactly.
Sunderland team.
Yeah.
Zaka is
But
the
then
key. You have to understand.
but then his midfield teammate has now picked up the this thing Enzo Leffe. I think he was
Enzo
also
Leffe.
yeah, he was a signing. I remember Yash Bhai, Enzo Leffe was signed in the same window that Ahmad
Hmm.
went from United to Sunderland.
Hmm.
And Enzo Lefebvre and Ahmad were doing really, really good at Sunderland under Tony Mowbray. And he was he was still like, I don't know. I mean, Enzo Lefebvre is, I think, still young. I mean, somebody needs to fact check it. But when he came into Sunderland, he was like, how to say, like a wonder kid type of thing. But it's so good to see him contribute also from an FPL perspective. Whoever wants to have that differential contribute there. But let's go through a couple of more comments before we come back to Chelsea. If the fans at Liverpool wants to sack Arne Slot, then there is no difference between Man United and Liverpool, says Vishal. Well, we will come to talking about the manager Amorim because he's a huge topic in itself. Vijay further goes on to say, for example, Estevao was good against Barca, but horrible game against Leeds. Maresca took him off at halftime again to protect him. Hato and Estevao will eventually play a lot of games. Patience. Again, that is exactly what Saket Bhai touched upon. So probably that is what Saket Bhai meant by saying that if this team needs to have that patient and that project, it's more a work in progress rather than a title contender already for this season. Let's go back to Chelsea, Saket Bhai. One of the questions that I had was, now that you have also your opinion that Chelsea are more still in a project. This loss, do you think, in a way, that it came at the right time also for Chelsea? Because we all know December and how quickly the fixtures come up, and there is a huge fixture congestion during this time. Just to bring that reality in check, that Chelsea are still a progress and not to dream. And I wouldn't say not to dream, because everybody can dream, just to keep the players in check. Sometimes a bad result here and there for a very good team might be a blessing in disguise. Do you see that Leeds result as that, or do you think that this could also continue if Chelsea don't fix certain things? And if so, what are the things that they need to quickly fix for a quick turnaround?
Yeah. So if you remember, same time, same December season, we were in
Hmm.
awful form. I don't know, even with
Hmm.
the best forms that we started,
Hmm.
December when it started with the kind of the crunch games that comes in, even with the kind of opponents that we were playing, not the best opponents. See, these were the, that's why always call our team as Robin Hood FC, because that's how they have been doing it. Every good team we perform like the best, and every mid table or the end table, even against United, we play like what happens to us. So, so that is where, like, every December is a time then we have to retrospect that what is happening with us. I won't say that it should be the case every season, but yes, this should be a call to, not to our managers. It should be manager. It should be a call to our fans and also our directors. If you remember the last conversation that Krishnan had, he mentioned that in this the transfer window that passed by, we didn't end up signing any good CB. Plus, I think Vijay will also agree to it. We need an experienced player.
Hmm.
There's, apart from James, we don't have any. And even James is a young guy. He's just coming from Cobham. He has been playing so far. The kind of performance he brings in is phenomenal. That's something that he cannot be replaced with the kind of
Yeah.
injuries that has been happening, but that is secondary. But once he is in good form, you know how he plays. He's a beast. But we need experience. So I think, just in rumors we are having, that Thiago Silva will come back for 6 months, or a player like Antonio Rudiger will might, if he is not in favor of Real Madrid, he can come back. But these kind of experiences, either it makes the team or breaks the team, because
Hmm.
that is something that we require. Why are we ending up with so many red cards? You have to understand that's a temperament. That's a temperament kind of an issue, that a guy like Caicedo can also be the best of our players, can also in the heat of the moment. Because if you remember that game against Chelsea versus Arsenal, the match was only getting played for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and then a single yellow card or some incident. It was not allowed to continue for some time. So that heated moment, a leader can, or an experienced player can understand the situation going on, and he can control the game, control the player's emotion. That
Yep.
is what we are lacking that now. So that is
Hmm.
where I think, yeah, our directors should understand that in this project, if you are taking all those Pokemons of getting the names whatever that 14-year-old or 16-year-old, you are getting everything, the wonder kids and everything. I think there is a guy called Ansel Mino. I don't even remember the name,
Yeah,
somewhere Anoop, or in my chat group Anoop or someone sends there
I
is a
think
guy
he's
called Ansel Minos.
Ansel Anselmino. Yeah, I
and
think he's
and
a
when
Argentine centre back. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and he's been scoring a lot of goals for Borussia Dortmund. So we
Okay,
have player. Then in Strasbourg, we have one player who is going to
Emeka.
come to our Omega. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We are getting a lot of top players, future star players, I would say.
Mm,
But about what
mm,
about the current situation? You have
yeah,
to understand. Chelsea has always been that kind of a team which
yeah,
looks at silverware as the least thing.
mm,
You cannot see 2 or 3 years. I think it's almost 3 years, 3 to 4 years, I think. Like we have not got into the habit of winning silverwares. So
mm,
that mentality, like even I think Conte and these players had that kind of a mentality,
yeah,
where they used to bring the kind of the energy or the kind of the experience, an experienced player turning the heat up and then winning the team. But that is
mm,
something which we are lacking right now. That should open the eye definitely to the directors and the fans, that please don't see this team as a winning team. This is a winning team, but still there are deep holes there. You have to understand that, because once the situation goes haywire, you will lose. And
mhm,
Premier League is that kind of a platform. It's one
yeah.
of the toughest platform, I would say, toughest
True.
league. You can play in any other league, you can see the kind of the mentality that these players have. It's different. So
Yeah,
definitely, if you, and that is where I adore people like Arteta, and they have been instilling these kind of things. You have to
true.
understand that what he's doing, he's doing tremendous job. That team can
Mm,
bottle anytime, but he's been doing the kind of defense he has brought up. It's
yeah.
pretty
Exactly.
amazing, and that's the
And the
project
squad
that he has
depth,
brought
why?
up.
And this is what,
Exactly.
right? When you look at that squad depth against Brentford, I think they played without Gabriel, Saliba,
Yes.
and Timber. I think they didn't
Califieri.
start. And yeah.
Timber started and he played for 46 minutes.
Oh, okay. He started. Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just looking at my FPL points and I thought he didn't start.
He played, yeah, yeah. He played for 46 minutes and then he was sub
Yeah,
just
yeah.
to save him for some. But this Mosquera and even Hincapié, they're
Hincapie.
pretty
Yeah,
good signings. Yeah,
yeah,
they are very, very good signings, I would say. And they have
yeah,
Ben White also as a replacement for Califieri, and they have a good squad depth. They can
yeah.
actually end up winning the Premier League, but I can tell you very upfront, they'll bottle. That's for sure. At the end of the day, they'll bottle today or tomorrow. I wish they do, but yes, but Arteta
But
has done a
but
very good job.
But Saket bhai, that's the thing, right? Like this season, at some point, like this is one of the most, as you've rightly said, Premier League is such a high level. But in no other season, I have seen teams being so inconsistent, even the top teams. And the only team that is being consistent is Arsenal. So even at some point, if they bottle, let's say, the point difference that is there could be
It's
too
going to be
much.
huge.
It could be too much. Like we know, we've seen in the past that City can go on this 10-15 game run where they win all these matches. 100% can. But then the point difference was not that huge. Now the points difference that Arsenal are being so consistent is already too huge, and that is
Mm,
why I feel that, I mean, as a neutral fan, I would love to. Again, I admire Arteta. It does pain as a United fan to say that, but you have to admire the work Arteta has done.
mm,
But in order to keep the league interesting, really something has to happen. Like either Arsenal has to start losing some jobs, or the top teams who are capable of challenging for the title have to really get consistent. Yeah.
yes.
Quickly, just go through the comments again. The mentality of the team can only be made into a champion kind if the board puts trust in a single manager for at least 3 seasons. Exactly what Saket was touching upon as to why Maresca is the right man and needs to be backed. Timber didn't start for Brentford. Thank you, Vijay, for pointing that out. Oh, yeah, he didn't start against Brentford. Okay, so I was right. Thank you so
Okay, he
much,
got 46
Vijay.
minutes. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so I think he came on after the 46th minute, I guess. Okay, thank you so much, Vijay, for that. Tomorrow, Emery will say good evening to Arteta. Oh, that would be amazing. What a run Aston
Uh,
Villa has been on since the start. I mean, the first six matches they were having only 3 points, and look at them now. Wonderful job, Emery as well. Uh, as always, he's been one of the very consistent
Vijay is a
managers.
fanboy of Rogers, so you can ask him. He's a big
Uh,
fanboy of Morgan Rogers. He
Morgan,
wants
yeah,
this guy.
uh,
He wants this guy in our team so bad now. He will go to
yeah,
fight anyone if he see anything bad.
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
just
But
like
the thing,
I'm a big fan
please,
of
Yash bhai.
एलियट एंडरसन यार मेरे को चाहिए कि हमारी टीम में आ जाए यार वो दूसरे
Yeah,
कोई क्लब में जाना चाहिए बट आई
uh,
अंडरस्टैंड
Yash bhai, your perspective on Chelsea and finally your thoughts for the Bournemouth game. So Chelsea play
आई
Bournemouth
प्रेडिक्टेड
at.
ड्रॉ बता रहा हूँ आई प्रेडिक्टेड ड्रॉ मेरे को लग रहा है
Uh-huh.
ड्रॉ कर सकते हैं क्योंकि
Mm,
देखो बॉर्नमouth भी इतनी खराब फॉर्म में चल रही है ठीक है तो
mhm,
परेशान तो करेगी चेल्सी को वो ऐसे तो
mhm,
नहीं है कि बैठे रहेंगे एंड दे आल्सो वांट टू बी ऑन टॉप सस्टेनेबल चेल्सी भी यार थोड़ी घबराई हुई होगी द थिंग व्हिच यू सेड यार आपको सेंटर बैक से मेरे को लगता है यू गाइस नीड स्ट्राइकर्स एक्सपीरियंस स्ट्राइकर और फॉरवर्ड लाइक विंगर कोई भी मान लो बट ऑन द टॉप एक लीडर वाला पोजीशन वाला चाहिए जो हैंडल कर सके डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन में नेटो के बाद में नेटो एक है आपका बट आपके काफ़ी यंगस्टर्स है डिल्ला पेड्रो गार्नाचो एंड देन एस्टबाओ तो उनको हैंडल करने के लिए यू हैव एंजो फर्नांडिस आपकी मिडफील्ड सॉर्टेड है मेरे को लगती है सेंटर बैक्स ठीक है व्हेन दे कम इंजरीज बट आपको अगर लॉन्ग टर्म जाना है तो आपको एक एक्सपीरियंस स्ट्राइकर चाहिए जो हमको भी चाहिए जो हमारा आप देख सकते हो कैसी हालत होती है और आर्सेनल को भी देख सकते हो आर्सेनल अभी भी विक्टर यॉकरिश है बट स्टिल वो एक्सपीरियंस आता है मिकेल मरीनो का एक्सपीरियंस आता है तो दे आर नॉट स्केर्ड तो पीछे भी
yeah,
उनको टेंशन नहीं होती है तो सो आई थिंक यू गाइस नीड वन एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ फॉरवर्ड तो आल्सो अ
I
सेंटर बैक
have
हाँ
one. No, no, that's a very good point, Yash. But I have a very different opinion on this point. Basically, why?
हम्म,
If you see the XG that Chelsea has right now, I
हम्म,
think it's next to I think only City this time. So in terms of goal, we have been very aggressive compared to even last two seasons. Like वो पोच एरा से भी अगर पोच का भी एरा देखोगे ना जिसमें इतने दौड़ते थे we were like back to back running.
हम्म,
Maresca has done a brilliant job in terms of training our forwards and the wingers. There is
हम्म,
a reason why I'm saying. See, if you see the kind of a forward Delap is what we used to have in the times of Drogba, or even say
हम्म,
your Diego Costa. He's a proper number nine. He takes the two CBs back. Only
हम्म,
thing is, his injury came at a time, a very bad time, where he was actually understanding the game. If you see how he used to play, is basically Delap in front, Pedro at the back, Pedro this whoever Pedro,
हम्म,
and Neto
हम्म,
and Palmer assisting them from right, left, and then Gittins coming in. So that was the
yep,
formation that was something which always was preferred formation for as a combination or a combo for Delap and Pedro. But
हम्म,
then his injury came. Then we got Guiu, and he also is playing well. I would say whatever time he's getting, he's doing a good job. So frankly speaking, we don't actually need a very good experience in terms of forward, and that too if you want to see, there are actually not
हम्म,
very good experience forward in the market.
हम्म,
If you just go in the market, there are if we are getting, it would be somewhere at 100 mil or something. We don't want to
mm,
do that. Rather than that, what even Arteta has done, if you see Arteta, his
हम्म,
forwards, Havertz is injured.
mm.
This guy, the hairstylist, what's his name?
Gabriel
Victor
Jesus is injured.
Gyökeres.
Yeah,
Gabriel
Gyökeres is
is
coming
injured.
back.
Victor just
Yeah,
coming back. So even if you see his game is much more on defense, he is
yep,
basically banking on the defense, and even his mid is not very great. Trossard is injured right now. Then this guy, Odegaard is coming after lots of injuries. Madueke was also out. So his actual game plan is all on defense and his
हम्म,
shot, this set pieces. He's basically winning the game, most of his games on set pieces. So he has understood the game that if you want to win in PL, you have to have a balance between everything, but defense wins you games. And that is what even Mourinho used to do. This team
yeah,
will win if you have your defense sorted up. And I can say
Hmm.
it very, if you have one experienced guy, like even that 30% or 40% of Thiago Silva is there in any guy, na, we'll win it.
Hmm.
That's for sure. That kind of a guy we need at the back. Sanchez
Hmm.
is doing a good job, but we need someone at the back to control it.
Yep.
That's what I want to add.
100%.
Brilliant. Perfect, Saket. Then thank you so much for your thoughts. Yash has predicted a draw. What do you think? Chelsea away to Bournemouth.
We'll win
Okay,
2-1,
2-1.
1-2. Okay.
Any
Yeah.
okay chances? Any choices for who would score for Chelsea?
So I think this will be Neto,
Mm-hmm.
one goal, and I think Neto, if he starts, definitely will be getting one goal, and I predict this time either Garnacho or Pedro to get one goal.
Pedro. Okay. Perfect. Good, good, good. Great. So that is all we have regarding Chelsea. But the viewers, if you have any comments regarding Chelsea, any questions to Saket or in general, please do keep on messaging. Thank you so much for everybody who's commented. And yeah, please keep it going. And now let's come to the biggest. There is like a lot of mysteries in the world, right? That has not been solved. Bermuda Triangle is one that I can think of, and the other big mystery is Manchester United, I have to say. So let's go back to that and let me bring out what I had thought about. But where do we start with Manchester United, Yash Bhai? Because every time you think that we have turned a corner, this team surprises you.
Don't think भाई. That's why I
Hmm.
stopped thinking or nothing
Yeah.
else.
Yes.
मैंने
Yes. Bhai.
मैंने छोड़ दिया. I honestly बता रहा हूँ, मैंने I did a watch along
Uh,
yesterday. I was watching the match and before the game only I said कि भाई अगर lose होती है draw होती है मेरे को फर्क नहीं पड़ता भाई.
hmm.
बस हारना नहीं चाहिए भाई, कुछ भी करके अभी तो यही उम्मीद रह गई है. और
Wow.
when you know we scored the goal, नहीं यार देख मैं बताता हूँ. I know people are
Hmm.
criticizing Ruben Amorim, right? I agree कि
Hmm.
why he's being criticized, but honestly if I see his perspective he's in problem.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
cannot be in problem क्योंकि यार he is facing so many injuries at the same time.
Hmm.
आपके एम्बोमो जो आपका
Hmm.
एम्बोमो है अभी उसमें ऑब्वियस क्वेश्चंस रूबरा एमने पे उठने चाहिए. Embumo was a top scorer last year Premier League, one of the top best performance in the Premier League. Take a mid coming into
See.
United last two games Embumo चल ही नहीं रहा.
Hmm.
उगाट है अरे sorry for tantrums but yeah such
Yeah,
Embumo नहीं
yeah.
चल रहा.
But we
Okay,
want to understand exactly. Yeah, yeah. Please go ahead.
Xerxes Xerxes के मैंने एक मिस्टेक नोट की है. Like I've
Hmm.
been noticing mistake from last three games, each and every. I know he scored the goal, agreed. Brilliant goal. उसको मुझे भी नहीं पता, उसको पता होगा कि उसने भी कैसे मारा है. But
Say.
brilliant goal. But starting from Everton match, उसको एक job करनी थी, which is to prove Ruben Amorim wrong. Simple सा काम था उसका, right?
Correct.
You just have to come, don't make silly mistakes and basic mistakes. That's what he has to do. उस
Hmm.
बकवास पास करे जा रहा है from the
Hmm.
first half. Okay,
Hmm.
अभी पीपल बोलेंगे उसको गेम टाइम नहीं मिल रहा. मुझे बोले लो
Hmm.
गेम टाइम नहीं मिल रहा. अग्री,
Hmm.
चलो गेम टाइम नहीं मिल रहा, ओके. बट ऐसा
Hmm.
तो नहीं है कि ही इज नॉट ट्रेनिंग. ही इज बीन
Hmm.
फ्रॉम लास्ट ईयर स्क्वाड, ही इज बीन प्लेइंग विद ईच एंड एवरी प्लेयर. ही इज अ प्रोफेशनल प्लेयर एंड उसको स्टिल अभी अक्ल नहीं आ रही कि गोल कैसे मारने है, लिंकअप कैसे बनाने है. तो फिर काय का फुटबॉलर तू?
Hmm.
सिंपल सी बात है ना. फिर
Hmm.
अंडरस्टैंड योर जॉब. जस्ट अंडर
Yeah.
भाई आप कोई भी कंपनी में काम करते हो, आफ्टर
Hmm.
1 ईयर दे आल्सो पुट एन एक्सपेक्टेशन कि भाई आपको ये काम तो आना चाहिए. बेसिक
Hmm.
गलती मत
Hmm.
करो. दे विल नॉट
Hmm.
डू हैंड जॉब. आपको मैनेजर आपको हैंड जॉब करने नहीं आएगा, राइट? यू हैव टू टेक सम रिस्पांसिबिलिटी एंड इट्स गोस फॉर ईच एंड एवरी प्लेयर. इट गोस फॉर ईच एंड एवरी प्लेयर. उग अभी उगाटे एक बैड लक है ऑनेस्टली, बताओ ये सीजन पता नहीं. व्हेनेवर ही केम ऑन द पिच हमने गोल कंसीड किया है.
By OE, exactly was stat. I was just
हाँ.
looking at that stat. So just to put some numbers
स्टैट
behind to
मैंने
what you
मैंने
said.
कल मेरे 2-3 व्यूअर्स से लाइक दे नो कि हाउ मच आई हेट उगाटे, नॉट
हाँ.
बिकॉज़ ऑफ
हाँ.
आई डोंट लाइक हिम टू प्ले बट बिकॉज़ वो पनौती एक बन गया है कि जब भी पिच पे आता है तो हमें गोल कंसीड करें. एंड वी डिड एक्चुअली कल
Why we have
कंसीड कर दिया था
conceded
हमने.
14 goals in 23
हाँ,
times that Ugarte has been on the pitch. That is
हाँ.
crazy. Bhai. Sorry,
अभी
no, we have
सोचो
conceded 14 of the 23
14.
goals. So,
हाँ.
matlab, हमने 14 of 23
When
goals
Ugarte
we've
was on the
conceded when
pitch,
Ugarte
सोचो
is on the pitch. Yeah.
अभी आई डोंट नो कि इट्स
Just
पनौती और व्हेन ही इज कमिंग ऑन द पिच, या उसके वजह से दूसरे प्लेयर्स उसके साथ लिंक अप नहीं बना पाते, बिकॉज ही इज प्लेइंग एट द वेरी पिवट रोल, ही इज कवरिंग
Hmm,
ब्रूनो और कैसेमीरो, वो कवर
hmm,
नहीं कर पा रहे इसलिए वो खुल जाते, वी डोंट
hmm,
नो, उसकी
hmm,
गलती नहीं दिखती ऑन द पिच, बट समथिंग इज हैपनिंग व्हेन उगाटे इज कमिंग, वरना
hmm,
14 गोल तो हम हर
yes.
गेम तो नहीं कर, इट्स नॉट अ कोइंसिडेंस, राइट?
hmm,
इट्स समथिंग इज हैपनिंग, तो उगाटे इज नॉट परफॉर्मिंग, कैसेमीरो
hmm,
हमरा बुड्ढा हो रहा है, ब्रूनो
hmm.
को हमारी मिडफील्ड खत्म है, उसको ब्रूनो को उसको आगे से पीछे खिलाना पड़ता है, इट्स अ सिंपल थिंग, एंड कल की पिच पर डालो वाज द बेस्ट प्लेयर, like
Yeah,
imagine Dallo from last 14 to 11 games he was the worst player and he became the
yeah,
best player from last two games after Sesko
exactly,
Cunha is not there. तो एंड
exactly.
मेरे को एक रूबन आमिर को ब्लेम कर रहे लोग, बट मेरे को एक बात बताओ यार, यू आल्सो यूनाइटेड फैन राइट? एक प्लेयर
Yes.
का नाम बताओ हु इज कमिंग फ्रॉम द बेंच एंड गेटिंग अ क्लच प्लेयर, कल की लास्ट दो गेम से कोई आके कर सकता है हमारे लिए,
But that's a very good point, Yash Bhai. Very, very
है
true.
ना?
Who will come from the bench? And even
कोई है ही
Amarim
नहीं.
made that point. Amarim made that point कि who I can bring offensive to
बट
play
माइनू भी आगे
from
कुछ
the
नहीं कर
bench.
पाएगा, ऑनेस्ट बताओ,
हाँ,
माइनू आगे वो और क्रिटिसाइज झेलेगा, मतलब और मोड बिगाड़ेगा
100%.
एनवायरमेंटल.
100% भाई, but my point is when you have Menu and Ugarte and आपने गोल 58th मिनट पे स्कोर किया, डालो ने 58th मिनट पे स्कोर किया, तो यू आर प्लेइंग एट होम भाई, अवे भी नहीं है, और यू आर प्लेइंग एट होम, एंड वी नो फ्रॉम प्रीमियर लीग दिस सीजन भाई that even if you score 2 goals 3 goals, that lead is not safe. So how can you score 1 goal and try to set up shop by bringing in Ugarte, who we all know one is not great at pivot, tends to concede goals. Why are you trying to set up the shop at 1-0 when you can bring someone like Menu who can not just
Yeah.
control the main midfield but could have been a chaos for them in for scoring goals by. I mean, we know how good Menu is on the
ये
ball,
ये
and
तो
he's
यही
a
बात हो
clutch
गई ना.
player as well.
अरे बट ये तो यही बात हो गई, साकिब भाई ने बताया, लाइक मरेस्का लर्न फ्रॉम हिज मिस्टेक्स, तो रूबराम की भी
Hmm.
यही गलती है कि ही इज नॉट लर्निंग
Hmm.
फ्रॉम हिज मिस्टेक्स,
हाँ
वो
भाई, but
नहीं स्टार्ट दे रहा, ही
exactly
इज वेरी
stubborn. But by
हाँ.
this stubborn, how can you be stubborn? By there's two things where you. This is what I don't understand. By, and yes, probably
हाँ.
you can help me understand. Key, you can be stubborn in two ways. By
हम्म.
one, it's everything is working for you. हाँ, मतलब the क्या जादू चल रहा है, मतलब यू रिमेम्बर महेंद्र सिंह धोनी का और ना, जो उसने प्लान किया या जो उसने मैच दिया. आई रिमेम्बर सम ऑफ द थिंग्स दैट ही डिड. जोगिंदर शर्मा का फाइनल ओवर देना, वर्ल्ड कप फाइनल श्रीलंका के हिसाब, फर्स्ट मैच श्रीसंत खेला भाई बांग्लादेश के हिसाब, and then
हम्म.
last match he plays only in the finals, gets smashed
हम्म.
against Sri
हम्म.
Lanka also, but we win the World Cup. So you can be stubborn or you can believe in the things that somebody is doing like a manager if things are working for you. But
Yep.
continuously, if you are doing things that is not working for you, including first of all by, this is a system that we have never played. I'll tell you what is the matlab, as a United fan, all of my frustrations because as a United fan by Saket by and also Yash, we have never played this system.
चेल्सी फैंस आर
Fine,
एंजॉयिंग.
fine. I totally understand. I'm not saying this
हाँ
system
हाँ.
is bad because this system has won Premier League. Why Conte did it?
सिस्टम इज
Conte did
नेवर
it
द
with
प्रॉब्लम भाई,
Chelsea.
सिस्टम इज नॉट द
Exactly.
प्रॉब्लम.
Exactly.
ये
System is not
मैं-
the problem.
देखो सिस्टम में एक बार बता रहा हूँ, सिस्टम कैन गिव यू द स्टैट्स व्हिच साकिब भाई आल्सो सेड कि आपके पास एक्सजी है, हमारे पास भी एक्सजी है, सबके पास एक्सजी है, तो सिस्टम एक आपको स्टैट दिलाती है. यार रोबन आपने तो एक वो दिखाएगा ना जिम रैटक्लिफ को कि भाई ये देखो मेरे स्टैट्स से मेरे नंबर्स ये है,
Hmm.
आपके प्लेयर्स नहीं काम करे तो मुझे मेरे प्लेयर्स ला के दो. इट्स जस्ट अ सिंपल
Hmm.
थिंग, दैट्स व्हाट
But
इज
by
डूइंग, राइट?
it is coming this whole circle ना, मतलब मैं
या
की
हाँ
बोल
हाँ
रहा हूँ कि आपने यू दिखाएगा, मतलब रूबिन अमोरिम विल शो जिम रैटक्लिफ की ऐसा है स्टैट्स, ऐसा नंबर्स है, इसीलिए मैं नहीं जीत रहा हूँ. बट
हाँ.
Jim Ratcliffe can also say how many players in that system is
आई
playing out of position by, मतलब like it is.
आपने अभी बोला ना कि द सेकंड पॉइंट बिलीव, I
हाँ.
think he's not believing his players. वो simple सी बात है, and I think he wants to remove all of the players. That's what he did Sporting. वो आके
Yeah.
ही 15 players ने garbage कर दिए, and that's what he wants to do कि भाई United is not easy club to sell and get the players.
Hmm.
एंड
Hmm.
दैट्स व्हाट ही वांट्स टू डू नेक्स्ट ईयर। बोलेगा ये सीजन जाने दो मेरे को, नेक्स्ट सीजन मेरे को छोड़ो। तो आई थिंक
Hmm.
समथिंग इज हैपनिंग विद जिम रैटक्लिफ
Hmm.
एंड रूबन, कि उनके बीच
Hmm.
में अग्रीमेंट हुई है कि भाई मुझे एक साल
Hmm.
और दो,
Hmm.
एंड जस्ट गेट अ मिडफील्डर, गेट समवन। बट वो उस मिडफील्डर अगर आएगा ना, तो अगर आएगा एलियट एंडरसन, बालेबा, इसमें से ही
Hmm.
आएंगे अगर जनवरी
Hmm.
में आते नहीं आते।
Hmm.
बट आपको कोई ऐसे लोन डील जो सीजन निकाल लो वाले प्लेयर्स तो आपको नहीं दिखेंगे। वो मैं लिख के
Hmm.
देता हूँ, अगर आएंगे मेरे को लगता नहीं अभी आएंगे। इट्स टू हार्ड टू गेट द प्लेयर्स एंड टू
Hmm.
गेट द मार्केट करेक्ट मार्केट वैल्यू। बट अगर प्रॉपर उसके नेक्स्ट ईयर का प्रोजेक्ट अभी से चालू हो गया है,
Hmm.
लाइक आई एम प्रीटी श्योर, बट वी डोंट नो कि हम चैंपियंस लीग में सस्टेन करेंगे कि नहीं। दैट्स द
Exactly.
बिगेस्ट क्वेश्चन।
Why? But in order to do all of that,
हाँ,
before we used to have money, and now there is PSR, and more importantly, it's very clear that United has now become a money, how to say, penny pinching project. Matlab, it's not like Chelsea where they are going to buy really well and they are going to sell really well. It's not a self-sustaining model at United. So, in
हम्म,
order to do well, you have to get Champions League. Now, my
हाँ,
question is to what you have said, Yash Bhai, if
हम्म,
they say, okay, I will give you one more year, I will now disrupt this entire this thing, get you new players, where is the money going to come from? Number one. Number two,
I
with
think we have
this
money. We have
manager.
money. We have 100
Okay.
million to spend for January.
But
क्योंकि
where is
लास्ट
100 million by? If you're
समर
going
का
to chase
समर
players.
का 80 बचा था। समर का
हाँ.
80 बचा था। ओके, नाउ वी
Hmm.
आर गेटिंग मोर 20 to 30 टिल जनवरी का हमारे पास 100 है। सो वी कैन नॉट
Hmm.
स्पेंड 100 इन जनवरी। ओके, हमारे पास 100 तो है, इसलिए
Hmm.
इनको ही पता है द डेटा व्हिच द अदर प्लेयर्स हैव मिडफील्डर,
Hmm.
इसलिए 100 के नीचे जा ही नहीं रहा है।
Hmm.
बट जैसे आपने बोला, अगर अपने पास चैंपियंस लीग वगैरह नहीं आएगी तो मनी कहाँ से आएगा, राइट?
Hmm.
तो यही कि आइदर वी आर टू सेल ब्रूनो यार, नो
Hmm.
नो क्वेश्चन अभी तो,
Hmm.
कि आपको उधर से ही मनी आएगा। अगर ब्रूनो अच्छा परफॉर्म करता है, उसको जान देना पड़ेगा, कैसेमीरो को जान देना पड़ेगा, उसका एक वेज का बिल कटेगा। यूर लेटिंग रैशफोर्ड, हॉलैंड का पैसे आएंगे ज्यादा, एंड
Hmm.
आल्सो मे बी फ्लूक शॉ की अच्छी ऑफर आती है।
Yeah.
तो यही
Wow.
ही हैज, नहीं
He has
बिकॉज
done
देयर
the
वाज,
calculation.
नहीं कि
नोट्स में लिखा है यश भाई ने पूरा
नहीं, अरे
कैलकुलेशन।
न्यूज़ थी,
No.
एक्चुअली न्यूज़ थी कि यूनाइटेड इज ट्राइंग टू गेट रिड ऑफ 11 प्लेयर्स फ्रॉम द
11.
नेक्स्ट,
As a Chelsea
एंड
fan, I don't care about
ब्रूनो इज
money.
वन ऑफ
We have
देम।
so much money. I
या
don't care
या
about
ट्रू।
it.
नहीं ये तो
बट
हमारे पास
यश भाई
रेवेन्यू
आप
सोर्सेज तो है यार, तो वी नेवर प्रॉब्लम
बट
विद द
यश
मनी।
बट यश भाई ये बोल दीजिए मतलब कि इफ all these 11 players are going to be brought in, do you think that this is the right man for those new 11 players? Because by
ये मैं
let's
लिवरपूल फैंस को
face it,
पूछता हूँ, डू
एग्जैक्टली
यू,
भाई। सो फॉर एग्जांपल एक सीजन पूरा हुआ है एंड लास्ट सीजन का क्या है मतलब बिगेस्ट एक्सक्यूज था कि प्री सीजन नहीं है, इसका सिस्टम का प्लेयर्स नहीं है, वो सब everything was there, fine, understandable. This year he has had a preseason, he's gotten some of the players that he wanted clearly. um, he could have done better because we needed a midfielder for years and years. We have not done that. We needed some wing backs, we have not done that. Okay, but we have gone with attack. Fine, whatever it is, it's still his players. I don't think he was going to complain about it. But if you're going to again spend again, is this the right man to take us forward by?
I,
Because
I,
I'll tell you my biggest worry by
hmm,
this manager is doing everything uh, how United in the past have not done. And I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but basically the support for him reduces and reduces by, because let's say, one, the system, whether you like it or not, the system no United manager has ever played.
hmm,
Two, youth. By we are now in the past, we used to always, even in tough situations when things were not working out, we used to bring on the youth and blood them and see how how it would have taken place. Matlab, for example, even under that game, at that game against West Ham na, matlab,
yep.
previously we would have just bought in Chia Lacey and Menu to see kya hua hoga, what is the worst that could have happened. There's
हाँ,
nothing
हाँ,
that could have happened by.
I agree,
So
100% agree. I see the frustration कि भाई वो नहीं कर रहा है, वो नहीं दे रहा है
hmm,
अकेडमी को स्टार्ट, which is disgrace कि हमारा यूनाइटेड का स्ट्रक्चर नहीं है, हम अकेडमी को
exactly,
स्टार्ट्स देते हैं।
exactly.
एंड बट मेरे को एक क्वेश्चन का आंसर आप भी दो कि यार कि
Huh,
लेट्स से एरिक टेन हाग एंड रूबन अमोरिम, ओके,
yes.
अभी तो यही है ना।
Hmm,
मुझे पर्सनली एक उम्मीद मिलती है कि वी कुड हैव विन ऑल ऑफ द गेम्स। सिटी को छोड़ के हम सारी गेम जीत सकते थे, टॉकिंग अबाउट
is
आर्सेनल,
is
फुलहम।
is is
हाँ, हाँ,
season by. ओके, हाँ।
टॉ फुलहम फुलहम आर्सेनल फर्स्ट गेम, देन इवन दो स्पर्स वाली हम जीत सकते थे, इवन दो एवर्टन वाली भी जीत सकते थे, कल की भी हम जीत ही
हुँ,
सकते थे। अगर हमारे पास
हुँ,
2-3 प्लेयर और होते ना, चलो
हुँ,
मान लो मैग्वायर या सेस्को भी होता ना, तो कुछ ना कुछ तो आ ही जाता, कहीं से गोल आ जाता, ठीक है?
हुँ, हुँ,
ओके, एक उम्मीद मिलती है, मतलब स्टैट्स और
हुँ,
सिस्टम इज़ नॉट द प्रॉब्लम, उधर क्लियर हो गया।
हुँ,
एंड एक उम्मीद मिलती है मेरे को कि ही ही एंडेड द कर्स ऑफ लिवरपूल, एंड
हुँ,
2 गोल उसने दिलाए। ब्राइटन का
हुँ,
कर्स एंड किया है। क्रिस्टल
हुँ,
पैलेस जो लिवरपूल को परेशान करके रखी है पूरी की पूरी सीज़न, उसको बीट करके
हुँ,
आए हम लोग।
हुँ,
प्लस हमने सनडरलैंड को बीट किया है। इट्स
हुँ,
नॉट कोइंसिडेंस, अगर एक बार होता चलो
हुँ,
लिवरपूल तो कोइंसिडेंस, बट 4 मैच बड़ी-बड़ी लगातार
हुँ,
हमने
हुँ,
बीट किया। हमने 3 मैच आज तक विन नहीं देखी है, वो हमने किया है।
हुँ,
मैं लिख के देता हूँ कि एरिक टेन हाग होता ना, तो मैं ये उम्मीद नहीं रखता।
हुँ,
It I could have
हुँ,
said कि भाई चलो हो रहा है घर, but Ruben
हुँ,
Amorim doing from last year, even though the Lyon वाली game,
हुँ,
whatever he did against tactical, it
हुँ।
was भाई कुछ भी किया था उसने, but he just
बट
did, he
आर
put
यू सीइंग भाई यश भाई, यही मेरा क्वेश्चन है।
I
यू
watching
आपने वर्ड यूज
I
किया कि
watching
टैक्टिकल ना, कि
हाँ
डू यू सी tactics with Ruben Amorim? And also Saket bhai, please feel free to chime in because
यार
you might
honestly
give an
यार
outside
एवर्टन
perspective.
एवर्टन वाली गेम होती है ना, आप कोई भी
Hmm,
टैक्टिक डाल दो, आपको जरूरत नहीं है टैक्टिक्स होना। यू
hmm,
नीड इंडिविजुअल ब्रिलियंस भाई, आप 10 मैन एवर्टन
hmm,
को बीट नहीं कर सकते। बट
hmm,
देवर मिडफील्ड खुल चुकी थी उनकी,
hmm,
एंड एक शॉट नहीं मारा, तो यू डोंट नीड एनी टैक्टिक्स, इट्स जस्ट द
hmm,
इंडिविजुअल ब्रिलियंस।
hmm,
या
hmm,
चेल्सी को टैक्टिक्स लगती है अगेंस्ट
hmm.
आर्सेनल, बट एवर्टन के लिए क्या टैक्टिक्स है यार, टू प्ले अगेंस्ट 10 मैन
नहीं,
एवर्टन, वो भी ओल्ड
even
ट्रैफर्ड।
West Ham, नहीं, even West Ham, if you
Exactly,
remember the last training that we mentioned, West Ham is one of the top three worst teams defensively this season.
exactly,
And
exactly.
I was seeing the match. The match was going really well for United, at least to
हाँ,
start with.
फर्स्ट हाफ वाज
Only
गुड।
things, West Ham was very good. I was very happy with Bruno's performance also. Actually, he was my captain in FPL in one of my team. I was thinking कि भाई आज तो गोल मारेगा. And if you see, ideally United should have
मैं
won
आपको
this game.
एक चीज
Oh,
दिखाता हूँ,
the only thing,
आप बोलो।
yeah.
हाँ हाँ,
Hmm.
आप बोलो, मैं एक चीज दिखा, मैं निकाल देता हूँ एक।
Sure.
Continue करो।
So United would have won this thing. Only thing is that is where I see him being. I call Amorim as the young Maresca
Hmm,
because he's again the kind of a guy with a plan A. And
hmm,
if a plan A is working fine with him for 1 or 2 games, he'll still continue. He'll become very arrogant with it, and
yeah.
he'll still follow it for the plan,
Hmm,
the games to games, and
hmm,
saying that my stats,
uh,
as was just mentioned, my
uh,
stats are good.
hmm,
My players are not fitting well, and that's why I think Vishal also
hmm,
mentioned one point very brilliantly. I would say that
या
the next managers the crop of managers which are coming these days are these kind of the managers. They think that the previous season, let's say Baleba,
hmm,
he has been
hmm,
brilliant with Brighton the previous season, and this season he's
hmm,
been doing shit, not very
hmm.
good with the 100
Yeah,
million tag that he was following. And they
correct.
try to, so what Ruben Amorim thought that he's the best person to get him. But
Hmm.
if you see this season's team, he's not doing very good. So will he go forward and sign a guy like Baleba? So you have to understand that it's the disrespect to Maresca, man. That's why I said it's a young
Vijay,
Maresca.
Vijay coming, and then yeah, yeah. No, no, they don't deserve to be. At least his work at United don't deserve to be in the same conversation. But let's look at what
हाँ,
um
मैं आपको एक चीज दिखाता हूँ। इफ यू शेयर द
Yash
स्क्रीन,
Bhai is trying to. Yeah, yeah,
जस्ट
yeah, yeah.
शॉर्ट में,
Just a
ठीक है,
sec. I
शॉर्ट में
am just trying to.
मैं आपको
Yes,
ज़र्ज़ी के
perfect.
दिखाता हूँ, ठीक
Mm-hmm,
है? रूबन आमोरिम,
mm-hmm,
ज़र्ज़ी इज़ नॉट अ बेबी, ओके? यू डोंट हैव टू डू इट। लुक एट हिज हीट मैप।
mm-hmm.
अभी कहाँ गया हीट मैप इसका? हाँ, इसका हीट मैप देखो। वाज़ इट सपोज्ड टू प्ले एट लेफ्ट और वाज़ सपोज्ड टू प्ले स्ट्राइकर? व्हाट ही इज़
Yeah.
डूइंग एट डिफेंड में इसका इंटेंसिटी क्यों दिख रहा है मिड में मेरे को?
Why? But this is the problem with Xerxes. This though we knew even before signing him. This guy, the first day he comes in Saket by, he tells us that he's not a striker. We bought him as a backup striker, and उसने बोल रहा है कि
ये
मैं
हमारा
striker नहीं
ब्रूनो
हूँ,
को कवर
मैं
करने जाना पड़ रहा है उसको।
9.5 हूँ. Exactly.
This I
Yeah,
clearly see the problem here भाई, हमारे हमारे फ्रंट पे जो फाइनल थर्ड है हमारे पास, उधर
yeah,
उधर कोई था ही नहीं कल, कोई भी
yeah,
नहीं था। ब्रायन एम्बूमो
yeah,
भी नहीं पहुंच पाया था उधर।
yeah,
यू कैन सी द इंटेंसिटी, बट कोई फाइनल थर्ड पे
yeah,
इतनी इंटेंसिटी दिख, जो
yeah,
रेड मार्क्स मेरे को दिखना चाहिए इधर वेस्ट हैम के
yeah,
अगेंस्ट, मेरे को
yeah,
एक प्लेयर का रेड रेड मार्क उधर नहीं दिख रहा है।
yeah,
अंदर अंदर फाइनल थर्ड में कोई आ ही नहीं रहा है, कोई
yeah.
भी नहीं आ रहा।
The only guy who
That's the
had a lot
problem.
of those red marks was Diogo Dallo, and for some strange reason, Saket Bhai, he was for the last even this entire season he's played horrible except the last two matches. I would say Palace and this match, and for some strange reason, Amorim chucks him
हाँ,
out at like 60th minute or something already, and
अरे
no
वो
injury,
छोड़ो
nothing. Yeah,
भाई, हरी भाई
He
ये
just
छोड़ो,
takes
ये
him out at six.
माजरावी को देखो भाई, ही इज
yeah,
प्लेइंग एट
exactly.
राइट सेंटर बैक, एंड उसकी
Yeah,
इंटेंसिटी मेरे को ज़ेर्क्सी की ज्यादा दिख रही है.
yeah,
व्हाट द हेल
yeah.
वाज ज़ेर्क्सी डूइंग, मेरे को समझ ही नहीं आया कल. इज ही
Mm,
कंफ्यूजिंग, इज ही नॉट गो प्लेइंग गुड इनफ, तो उसको निकाल देना भाई, उसको पूरी गेम क्यों खिला रहा है.
mm,
When
मेरे
is
को
Sheshko back?
इज कमिंग इन दिसंबर, वी स्टिल हैव टू सर्व 2 गेम्स, एंड यही यही दिक्कत है ना भाई. अगर तेरे को एक काम दिया है तो क्यों पीछा रहा है भाई,
mm,
तो आगे खड़ा रहे ना, तेरे को बॉल मिल जाएगी यार, तेरे को एम्बुमो लेके दे देगा, तेरे को कुनिया लेके दे देगा, तेरे को आमन लाके दे देगा, तो क्यों पीछा आ रहा है. तेरे को
mhm,
ब्रूनो है उधर ना, सिंपल सी बात है.
mm, yeah,
एंड दैट्स व्हाई आई एम सो पिस्ड ऑन ज़ेर्क्सी, एंड आई डोंट ब्लेम रूबन अमोरिम हियर कि यार उसके पास चॉइस नहीं है तो प्ले इन स्ट्राइकर, क्योंकि
mm,
अगर वो ज़ेर्क्सी को चांस देगा ना तो मीडिया उसको खा जाएगी,
mm,
जैसे माइनो के साथ करती है. तो एंड ही डोंट इवन हैव स्ट्राइकर्स, क्योंकि एम्बुमो कैन नॉट प्ले स्ट्राइकर, जैसे मैंने देखा यार,
mm,
ही इज अ बॉल कैरियर, वरना अगर बॉल कैरी नहीं होगा, एम्बुमो नहीं होगा पीछे तो.
mm.
मेसन माउंट,
But Cunha can play, na? Cunha can play.
कुन्या इंजर्ड था ना, इंजरी के बाद आया था, बट यही दिक्कत है ना, इंजरी के
नहीं,
बाद फिर उसको मेसन
uh,
माउंट को लेके आना चाहिए था, बट ही डिड नॉट स्टार्ट मेसन माउंट. बट यही
But
hmm.
स्मॉल
Mason
स्मॉल
Mount
मिस्टेक्स.
But Mason Mount was apparently one of the two injury doubts, it
टू
seems,
इंजरीज है ना,
Yash
मेरे को
bhai.
लगा ही,
हाँ,
हाँ मेरे को भी
Okay.
लगा,
हाँ, तो
यही
इसीलिए
यही
he
इंजरीज
started
था
with
ना.
Cunha. Yeah.
हाँ, आई थिंक डिलीट है कुन्या
Thanks
बोलते.
for thanks for taking him from us. Thank you.
मेसन माउंट यार हमारा तो बहुत अच्छा करता है यार, मैं तो खुश हूँ मेसन माउंट से,
नहीं नहीं,
ऑनेस्टली बता दो लास्ट.
very good.
बट कोई नहीं, आप थैंक यू फॉर टेकिंग गार्नाचो.
No, that will tell at the end of the season. He has been good so far for
वही
us, at
मेसन
least.
माउंट का भी वही बोलूंगा,
Whatever the
दैट विल टेल अ एंड ऑफ द सीजन.
But Yash bhai,
stats will tell.
bef-
Mhm.
before we talk about Unite, like before we move on to Saket bhai's FPL team, we have to talk about Kobe Menu,
या
because this is what frustrates me as a United fan, because our mantra at United is basically what we say called youth, courage, and success.
100%,
Academy,
100%.
exactly, youth, courage, and success. And academy is one of this is there in our history by for us.
हाँ.
When the Munich ad disaster happened, we were able to call on our
हम्म.
academy to basically play for us. So the academy, and we also have this rich tradition of our academy player being there in the match day squad for I don't even know, probably hundreds of years, I guess,
हम्म.
more than 100 years, I guess. So which is like one of the traditions of this club, and to see one of the players who is very well capable of playing in this team and performing much better than his counterpart, as in like Ugarte, for example, is now on the cusp of leaving Man United just because the manager cannot find a place for him in the team, or what or wants whatever the manager
हम्म.
wants from him, he's not able to offer that. And
Yep.
because of these reasons, we are going to lose a player who is probably, in my eyes, by from what I have seen in the academy.
भाई हरी भाई,
uh,
दिस इज तो स्टिल ओके, अगर ऐसे चलता रहा ना, द प्रोस्पेक्ट व्हिच यू आर लुकिंग, जेजे गैब्रियल, वो भी बारसा के अकेडमी चला जाएगा.
exactly, what is that
ठीक है.
going to do for the other youngsters, by like Jim Thwaites, Fletcher brothers, Amir
हमारा चिड़ो
Ibrahimov,
भी गायब है, पता नहीं
Chidobi.
वो U20 में वापस
Exactly,
क्यों चला गया. कमिंग
exactly.
डिमोशन हो गया ना उसके लिए, तो भाई तेरे को बोलता है तू मैनेजर बन जा, फिर बोलता है नहीं नहीं तू क्रू मेंबर बन जा वापस से. इट्स अ डिमोशन.
But by आप क्या सोच रहे हो, मतलब this is my question regarding Ruben Amorim, right? Would you now make a decision, because by, let's face it, 40 games in the Premier League, 13 wins, that is less than percentage win is less than 33%, for which a club like United, by at, if you remember at some point last season, by our win ratio was just over the relegation threatened teams, मतलब जो teams relegate हुआ, those were the only teams that we had beaten at some point. It was that bad. And this season again, there are, I still feel by the eighth position does us an honor, because I feel
हाँ
the
हाँ,
only
नहीं
reason
अग्रीड.
we are eighth is because all the other teams have been inconsistent around them.
एग्जैक्टली एंड अरे भाई मैं टेंशन में नहीं हूँ, मैं आई एम हैप्पी कि हम 7th या 8th पोजीशन बैठे हुए, बट व्हाट
Exactly.
आई कैन प्रेडिक्ट द फ्यूचर, वो हमारे लिए खराब हो सकता है क्योंकि द नेक्स्ट
Hmm.
फिक्चर्स आर इजी, अगर उसमें हमने विन नहीं निकाली तो कम बैक
Hmm.
करना बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा, ये सारे
Hmm.
लोग क्लब्स आगे चले जाएंगे, फिर वापस हम
Exactly.
15-14 पे आ जाएंगे.
Yeah.
आई एम हैप्पी राइट नाउ टुडे, अगर मैं आज की गेम देखता तो ठीक है, चलो 7th नंबर पे बैठे हुए अबव लिवरपूल, ओके आई एम वेरी हैप्पी. बट ये मैं नेक्स्ट अगर 5 गेम से अगर 5 गेम में वेस्ट हैम वाली परफॉर्मेंस देखोगे तो गए हम लोग भाई,
Yeah.
हम लोग वहाँ पे
Yeah.
14-15 आने वाले हैं. बी रेडी
Yeah.
फॉर दैट फन.
Yeah.
आप क्रिटिसाइज
But
And
करो
by
कुछ भी करो.
plus
how
in
हाँ,
how
हाँ.
much does
plus
it
in
pain you? I mean,
Afcons.
बहुत
Yeah,
यार.
sorry, just to add,
मैं
and
बता
plus
रहा
in
हूँ,
Afcons, if Mbemo left leaves, you'll have a one
हमारी
of the most
हमारी
reliable
राइट
player.
खाली हो जाएगी, राइट
by
पूरी
pura
खाली हो
right is
जाएगी.
Exactly.
gone. There
एंड
is
उसको
no
ये समझ नहीं आ
Ambumo,
रहा है. एंड
Ahmad,
रूबन आमरीन को
us
एक
right.
चीज समझ नहीं आ रही है भाई कि भाई उसको शियल को स्टार्ट कराना पड़ेगा. अगर उसको नहीं कराना तो फिर भी कराना पड़ेगा क्योंकि दीज गाइज आर लीविंग. अगर उसको अभी ट्रेन नहीं करेगा तो कब बाद में जाके ट्रेन करेगा क्या? तो ये छोटे छोटे मिस्टेक करता है रूबन आमरीन, बट अगेन I'll not put the whole blame on आमरीन यार. मैं
Mhm.
प्लेयर्स पे भी इतना ही ब्लेम डालूंगा. They are
Mhm.
equally like
Mhm.
manager can help you to bring the stats, but it's also the player responsibility.
Hundred
So
hundred percent Yash bhai.
Yes.
All of this rant that I
हाँ,
have done is basically very manager centric. Please, also the viewers and I hope the guests as well, don't think that I am anti Amorim. My point is I am anti complacency because this team, how much ever Saket bhai, we've had the chance now 2 or 3 times to go near the top 4 or 5. We've had to beat Everton at home, a 10-man Everton, and there was no intensity. Again, yesterday at West Ham, this is like we have seen all the teams play. Now we are playing on Monday, by we are playing Monday night football when we've seen all the other teams play, and it is very clear for us कि if you win, you are in fifth position or just behind Chelsea on goal difference. Now,
hmm.
isn't that a biggest motivation for you to come and play front foot football? No, we just allow the game to drift. I thought Nuno, by for example, he planned the match brilliantly yesterday. He allowed the game to drift. Last 10 minutes उसने seriously attack किया. Bowen last 10 minutes उसने जो मेहनत की around our box and whatever he did in that last
भाई
10
सबसे
minutes was
ज्यादा मैं तो
brilliant.
वैन बिसाका ने किए पता है
Seriously, bhai. He should
वो.
have been sent off. Oh man, the referee bhai,
I
वो
was
तो
I never wanted to sell वैन बिसाका, never wanted, क्योंकि लोग अभी देख रहे हैं कि वैन बिसाका ने कल क्या किया, बट वो हमारे लिए हमेशा यही करता था, हमेशा. जब भी वो फिट होता था तो हमेशा यही
That's
करता था. He used to do
that's
the
why he was
tackles, but
always called Spider of
yeah.
the match. He's
Erik
like
ten
so,
Hag,
so good.
एग्जैक्टली
Hmm.
एरिक टेन हाग ब्रॉट माजरावी फॉर 12 मिलियन, उसको बेच 15 मिलियन, और वैन बिसाका को बेच दिया 12 मिलियन में. आप, मैंने बोला आपको एड ऑन कर देना था ना, माजरावी अगर 15 मिलियन मिल रहा है, इट्स नॉट अ बैड प्राइस भाई, लेके आओ उसको.
Hmm.
ही कैन प्ले एट लेफ्ट, मोरक्को में वो लेफ्ट खेलता है तो ठीक है, वो खेल
Yes.
लेगा. बट देन इट्स वाज एरिक टेन हाग हु भाई बहुत पीछे लेके गया, लाइक ही एक्चुअली ब्रॉट अस 5 to 6 ईयर बैक, ऑनेस्टली बता रहा हूँ.
Do you
तो
think that is one of the reasons why this team is still struggling by because the after
ऑनेस्टली
effects
भाई,
of Ten Hag?
ऑल्सो इन टर्म्स ऑफ फाइनेंशियली, ऑल्सो इन टर्म्स
Hmm.
ऑफ प्लेयर,
Sure.
एक दो प्लेयर अच्छे लेके आया वो डिलेट और ये लिसांड्रो मार्टिनेज, ऑल्सो इन टर्म्स
Hmm.
ऑफ माजरा, चलो प्राइस के हिसाब से. बट ये दो दो के अलावा उसने ब्लंडर ही किया है. द साइनिंग व्हिच लिवरपूल डिड दिस टाइम कि इसाक चाहिए ही चाहिए, एकिटिके चाहिए ही चाहिए, ही डिड विद हॉलैंड, ओनाना एंड एंथनी, सेम थिंग.
Yeah.
एंड सी हाउ लिवरपूल इज स्ट्रगलिंग एंड सी हाउ वी डिड. तो मैं उनको
Yeah.
लिवरपूल को यही बोलता कि भाई हम देख चुके हैं, आप देखो अभी. और ये सुनते नहीं है, आप वो सुनते नहीं है, उनको लगता है कि भाई रुक जाओ हो जाएगा, रुक जाओ हो जाएगा. बट वियर्स के अगर गोल्स नहीं आएंगे, असिस्ट नहीं आएंगे, तो कॉन्फिडेंस बूस्ट नहीं होगा, तो एक दिन उसकी परफॉर्मेंस आनी बंद हो जाएगी फिर तो,
Yeah.
क्योंकि मीडिया उसको खा जाएगी. इंग्लिश मीडिया, यू नो भाई इंग्लिश मीडिया कैसी होती है, यू गाइस नो. वो
Yeah.
खा जाएगी जब तक वो नंबर्स पुट ऑन नहीं होगी, क्योंकि कुनिया ने एक गोल मार दिया है. तो कुनिया पे भी कोई नहीं आएगा,
Hmm.
राइट. तो शावी शिमोन वन ऑफ देम. एंड रुक
Nahin,
रुक
but
जाओ
there
हो
is
जाएगा.
one point. If, nahin, but there's one point.
हाँ.
If you see players like which Eric Ten Hag signed, I think Holland and even this guy Scott McTominay, he didn't sign, but he allowed with these guys to play. If you
हम्म.
see now, these guys are playing in Italian, which is not very aggressive, I would say, again as like PL, but they have been doing really well. there's a certain condition, even when we are saying that a manager is always needs to take up the blame. I think for the teams like United, City,
Hmm.
Arsenal, Chelsea, it is also the patch that you are basically representing. These
Yeah.
players need to turn up every match
Every
like it's their last
exactly.
match.
बट दे आर
They
नॉट
have to. They
क्राई
are not
बेबीज
doing.
यार, दे आर प्रोफेशनल्स। मैं वही बोलना चाहता हूँ भाई, कितने लोग पड़े हुए, उनको चांस नहीं मिलता, आप टॉप क्लब में खेलते हो, व्हाट यू एक्सपेक्ट कि आपको पैसे मिलते हैं यार? यू आर नॉट इवन गेटिंग लाइक
Exactly.
5 to 10 रुपीज। इट्स एवरी
They're,
एवरी वीक दे
they're
आर गेटिंग हमारा पूरे साल का
they're
वेजेस।
too soft. They're too soft these days. They have to represent the team like it's an honor for them. So, but that is
हाँ,
not, and that is what the
इमेजिन
manager
इमेजिन
has to bring that
इंडियन
culture.
प्लेयर्स गेटिंग, इंडियन प्लेयर को एक सैलरी मिलती है उनकी, तो हम लोग कहाँ होते? हम लोग मार मार के हमारे पैर तोड़ के खेलते हैं। फिर दीज गाइज हैव टू बी लाइक ऑन दैट पोजीशन, एंड दिस इज व्हाई आई लाइक एंजो
Yes.
मैरेस्का, क्योंकि वो भी यही थिंकिंग से आता है। जो
Yes.
व्हेन आई
Exactly.
थिंक
And the,
ही सेड अबाउट हिज फादर, एक कमेंट बोला था, मेरे
yes.
पापा भी जाते
कि
थे, मेहनत
मेरे
करते थे
पापा
वगैरह।
24 मेहनत करते हैं
हाँ
ना,
हाँ, द
I
फिशिंग
like,
वन, द
and even
फिशिंग
the,
वन, या
and there's one point that what Amarim is different from Maresca. Maresca is different because Maresca is allowing a lot of youngsters, or the you can
हाँ
say
हाँ,
Cobham
100%।
young grads. He is doing that because he understands if you want to have that fans also at the back of his as a
Yeah,
condition, or as a supporter, you need to bring those youngsters in the team.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
integrating them slowly and slowly, but
इवन
with
तो
the
yeah.
मिकेल
condition.
आर्टेटा भी, मिकेल और पेप ने
निकल
भी
आते
किया
हैं।
ये जो।
Yes. But Maresca ने एकदम straight forward बोला है, I will give you chance, but if you won't perform, you have to be, you have to understand we have a very good. He has said it very brilliantly that
हाँ,
I'll give Tyreek George. He has given Tyreek George chance. He has given Joshua Akampiong chance. He is giving everyone chance. But you have to understand this particular project needs performance. If you are performing at your highest level, you will continue. If you are not, be ready to warm the bench. That's simple.
और
Yeah.
ये एक यही डिफरेंस है, एंजो मैरेस्का का एक प्लेयर मैनेजर है और दूसरा रूबन अमोरिम एक क्लब मैनेजर है, कि भाई मैं अपने टैक्टिक्स और अपने
Tactical
आई
manager. Yes.
मैन, हाँ, वो इज अ टैक्टिकल मैन, बट ही हैज टू थोड़ा पिवट
Mm.
होना पड़ेगा उसको, क्योंकि इफ यू थिंकिंग अबाउट लॉन्ग टर्म, ही हैज टू बी अ मैन मैनेजर एज वेल, क्योंकि आपकी
Yeah,
क्रू ही आपको अच्छी क्रू ही आपको खींच
Yes.
के लेगी एट द एंड। यू हैव
yeah.
टू बी रन द शिफ्ट,
Exactly.
एंड बट अगर वो नहीं करेगा ना, तो यू बी लुकिंग द सैकिंग सून ऑफ रूबन अमोरिम भाई, क्योंकि वो उसका आउटकम जीरो ही है फिर तो,
भाई
अगर वो
बट दिस
पिवट
इज
नहीं करेगा तो।
द यश भाई, आपने बोला ना सैक के बारे में, हमने सैक के बारे में ही नहीं बात किया, बट सिंस यू बॉट इट अप मैं सिर्फ बोलूंगा अभी। तो अभी यू आर वी टॉक्ड अबाउट इट ना, हम खुश हैं कि वी आर 8 डिस्पाइट व्हाटएवर वी हैव डन दिस सीजन।
हम्म।
At what point, let's say for example December does not go as planned, and then we are in January where we are still, because of other teams being inconsistent, we still have a chance for that top 4 top 5, but things have gone not gone as to plan in
आई
December.
जस्ट वांट यूरोपा लीग और कॉन्फ्रेंस लीग कप वाली लीग पोजीशन मिल जाए, मेरे लिए बहुत है। मैं
Hmm,
एक्सपेक्ट तो करूंगा ना यार, इट्स
hmm.
मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड एट द एंड।
Yeah,
देख
exactly
एक्सपेक्ट,
bhai.
हम लोग नहीं चाहते प्रीमियर लीग, हम लोग चैंपियंस लीग भी नहीं होप करें, बट इतना थोड़ा तो होप कर सकते हैं कि यूरोपा लीग मिल जाए, कॉन्फ्रेंस लीग का स्पॉट मिल जाए, तो इधर उसको प्लेयर्स चाहिए नेक्स्ट सीजन। लाइक अंडररेटेड प्लेयर्स भी आ जाए, लाइक वी डोंट
Mm.
नीड एम्बापे और काइंड ऑफ प्लेयर्स, वी जस्ट नीड स्मॉल स्मॉल प्लेयर्स जो आके ग्रो करें। दैट्स द प्रोजेक्ट, एंड अगर 2028 कप क्लब का प्रोजेक्ट है, देन दे हैव टू वर्क ऑन, इतना तो करना पड़ेगा। रूबेन को समझाना पड़ेगा भाई, हमारी एकेडमी प्लेयर्स को चांस दे, अगर तेरे को नहीं भी देना ना, फिर भी दे, तेरे को बात करनी पड़ेगी।
Yes.
यू कैन नॉट डू दैट
Yes.
भाई। अगर आप सारे गार्नाचो को भी जान दोगे, माइनो को भी जाने दोगे, अगर हॉलैंड को भी जान दोगे, सबको जान
Mm.
दोगे, फिर नहीं चलेगा भाई, क्लब नहीं चलेगा, क्योंकि अकेडमी फिर जीरो हो जाएगी, फिर से आप रियल मैड्रिड बन चुके। दैट यू आर नॉट गिविंग चांसेस टू अकेडमी, एंड एग्जैक्ट भाई, रियल मैड्रिड, पर आप रियल मैड्रिड नहीं हो ना ऑन द अदर साइड। यू आर नॉट गेटिंग द
True.
बिलियंस डॉलर्स एवरी, एंड यू आर
ऐसा
नॉट
नहीं
गेटिंग द
है।
Or the or the
ट्रॉफीज, ला
prices.
लीगास,
Exactly,
चैंपियंस लीग,
exactly,
है ना? तो
exactly.
यू आर द रियल मैड्रिड, यू आर द मैनचेस्टर यूनाइटेड, तब you have to choose a position at some point,
Hmm.
and that's what I
Yeah,
think
but
यार। हाँ,
absolutely, bhai. But Saket bhai, आप बोलिए from an outside perspective, when you hear the stats of 40 Premier League matches, 13 wins as a United manager, what goes through your head? I mean, apart from the like the cushy that you get of seeing United fans just in turmoil, apart from that, from a football fan, what goes through your head? Is this even like, is this the new normal that we have to get used to, or do you think that this is like Jamie Carragher says, this is not sustainable, because at least we have to see some sort of improvement from last season, which also we are not seeing. That is why you can see how me and Yashbai are still complaining about the very basics of this club. But what goes through your head as an outside fan or as a Chelsea fan?
See, if I have to compare between ETH and this guy, he's far far better. I can tell it
Hmm.
very upfront. I've seen
Hmm.
the gameplay. I actually like the way that he at least understands the game. Only thing is very stoic. That's
Hmm.
something that he has to understand. He doesn't change the game the way that it needs to change, because
Hmm.
Yep.
people, or you can say the young managers also, they're changing the game as per the situation sometimes.
Mm.
That's where he's not understanding the game, because it worked in his you can say
Past
sporting,
sporting में
it
हाँ.
worked in his past. It worked in his past,
Mm.
but Premier League is a different beast. And that's where he needs to understand that with the change that is there,
Mm.
he needs to also adapt to it, because he has got those players like Mbuemo, Cunha, Mount. These are good players, but
Mm.
for his system, he needs to understand that they are also coming from a system of, let's say, Brentford or Wolves.
Yep. Yep.
They are also a system player. They have, like, Rose Cunha used to play up front with the kind of the intensity that you can say, the kind of the crosses that he used to get, the kind of the freedom that he used to get. Mbeumo is also that kind of a player. But you need to understand, Amorim also is again, what I call him is a tactical manager. He always believes in his tactics A, and he'll
100%.
fix to it.
हाँ.
100% he's a tactics guy, and he will write everything down, and he'll put everything in his play. These players will have to either understand the game that he's playing,
Manager.
or
हाँ.
the other manager, or otherwise they'll go for revolt if the results are not coming in. This could be a situation which many teams have also got into. Like Chelsea have also got into a situation where they had gone against the manager, and you can say end of the day the manager was out. The players are never to be blamed, but this could not be the situation. This is not something new. This has always been the case. But you have
Mm.
to understand, if you want to win a silverware, everywhere, if you, at least in Premier League, it has to be a project these days. The old
Yeah.
situation of that, even today, if Mourinho comes back, I don't think he'll win one season, he'll win, but next season he'll definitely be out.
Hmm.
Yep.
I can tell it,
And
this Premier League has changed.
हाँ.
Like Crystal Palace doing a brilliant job. These are the teams, they are working on that project now. They are developing a team like a project. And that's where the
Yep.
situations are changing, because everything is now becoming very analytical. Things have that, like AI has already come into our lives. Even in
Yep.
football, I think everything has been that. Just imagine long ball throws. It
Yeah.
was there somewhere in 2004-5 when Stoke City
Yeah.
used to do long ball throws.
When Liam
2007-10, I
Delap's
used to
father
see
was
that.
still playing. Rory Delap was
Yes,
still playing.
now, and this has come again. If you see the
Yeah.
teams like Sunderland doing it again,
Yeah.
Arsenal is doing it again. I was just
Brentford.
seeing a match of this. Brentford is doing it again, and that is converting to goals, set pieces goals. So things
Yeah.
are changing. It has
Yeah.
become very, very, like, it's all XGs and stats now,
Yeah.
XA,
Yeah.
XG. So the managers and players needs to in sync with what we are getting into these things.
Hmm. Hmm.
Otherwise, it is again, we'll be always, the top four is definitely going to change season by season. That's for sure.
Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
Liverpool, even with the signings, or you can say City, I think only the most consistent team so far in Premier League in this past decade has been City. We have to
Yeah.
understand it. They
Yeah.
have adapted to the situation. They have bought the players. They have rotated those old players back. So they have that adaptability is the best, I would say, is only when one team, which is City. That is very hard to accept it, but that is a fact.
Hmm. Hmm.
Other teams, they are coming in, bottling, then coming down, one season
भाई
wonders.
honestly
That is
बताओ,
there.
we are the
But
bottlers
we
this
have
season. हमने सारी लीड बॉटल
so
डाउन
yeah.
की है, स्पर्स की मान लो, वेस्ट हैम की मान लो, एवर्टन की मान लो. We are
Nottingham
the bottlers
Forest.
Hmm.
भाई, honestly बता. हाँ हाँ, we are
Yes,
the honestly
exactly.
bottlers this season. हम
Yeah.
आर्सेनल को बोल रहे, but we are the
But
bottlers.
Yes.
नहीं,
Yes.
but मेरे को मैं अगर honest opinion दो, you should give at least 1 or 1.5 season to Amarim, because if
Exactly.
he understands the
उसको दो
situation,
ट्रांसफर
he
मैं
should be
उसको दो
given
ट्रांसफर
chance.
विंडो के बाद जज करूंगा यार. मैं उसको अभी जज ही नहीं कर
Yes,
पाऊंगा
he
क्योंकि
should
उसके
be.
प्लेयर्स ही नहीं है उसके पास.
मतलब 2 समर विंडोज आप बोल
हाँ
रहे हो
हाँ.
या
नेक्स्ट ट्रांस
2 प्रॉपर?
ये जनवरी एंड नेक्स्ट
This
समर
this
प्रॉपर.
half and next. next. Yes,
हाँ,
Hmm.
yes, that's all.
Hmm.
मैं उसको जज ही नहीं मैं जज ही मैं बोलता रहा हूँ, इसलिए मैं जज ही नहीं कर रहा रूबन आमरिन को, मैं प्लेयर्स को ज्यादा जज कर रहा हूँ। एंड आई कैन गिव 100 मिलियन टू रूबन आमरिन, आई ट्रस्ट हिम कि अगर वो प्लेयर
Hmm.
लेके आएगा तो यूनाइटेड की अप्रोच पूरी चेंज हो गई है भाई। दे आर नॉट
Hmm.
ओल्ड यूनाइटेड की पहले आप
True.
क्लब को एक्सेप्ट करो एंड देन गेट द प्लेयर। जब तक आप रूबन आमरिन प्लेयर के साथ बात नहीं करेगा, जब तक प्लेयर अग्री नहीं करेगा उसके टैक्टिक, तब तक क्लब जाती ही नहीं है कोई प्लेयर के पीछे
Hmm.
अभी।
Hmm.
ठीक है, तो ये टैक्टिक्स हमने चेंज किए, तो विच इज वन ऑफ द इम्प्रूवमेंट।
नहीं चाहिए,
वरना वो हाँ चाहिए ही नहीं
but
भाई, दूसरे चलो नेक्स्ट टारगेट, यही
मारेस्का भी
चाहिए।
सेम
एंड
सिचुएशन में होता अगर एंजो और कैसेडो
हाँ
जैसे प्लेयर नहीं आते। पैसा नहीं होता है तो
एग्जैक्टली,
गेम्स
True.
नहीं, दैट्स हाउ इट
हाँ
इज।
अगर पैसे
यू हैव टू
फेंकने हैं, तो फिर
अंडरस्टैंड।
वही लाओ ना जो आपके अंडरस्टैंडिंग बैठती है मैनेजर और आपकी प्लेयर्स
एग्जैक्ट।
के साथ। तो
Yeah.
मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ हरी भाई, कि यार अच्छे दिन आएंगे, बट अगर ये स्क्वाड के साथ तो नहीं आएंगे भाई। मैंने आपको एक स्टार्ट दिखाओ ना, अगर एवर्टन वाली
हाँ,
स्क्वाड
हाँ.
दिखाओ और स्पर्स, अभी तो बहुत है स्पर्स वाली, और स्पर्स की फाइनल और जो यूरोपा लीग थी और एवर्टन वाली गेम,
Hmm.
लिटरली ऑल द स्टार्ट्स वर सेम, पूरी की पूरी
Hmm.
स्क्वाड सेम थी, सिर्फ
Hmm.
जर्गजी और ओनाना
Holland
अलग
का
थे,
फर्क था.
एंड
हाँ.
सेस्क हॉलैंड एंड ओनाना थे। मैं क्या
Hmm.
बोला, जर्गजी एंड सेरेलामिस थे, एंड उधर हॉलैंड एंड ओनाना थे, बस
Onana.
यही फर्क
Hmm.
था। सेम टीम, अगर ये सेम टीम है, इसका मतलब हमारी टीम रेलीगेशन वाली थी जो लास्ट ईयर स्क्वाड। ठीक है, इट
Hmm.
वाज अ सेम रेलीगेशन स्क्वाड, तो मैं जज नहीं करूंगा ये प्लेयर्स को, क्योंकि इनमें वो है ही नहीं, वो गूदा ही नहीं है। अब मैं
Hmm.
रूबन आमरिन कितनी गाली दे दूं, बट ये प्लेयर्स में ही नहीं है, तो रूबन आमरिन भी क्या करे बेचारा। वो भी चाहता होगा ना कि मैं स्टार्ट दूं अकेडमी प्लेयर्स को, बट साला हम 3 गोल आगे नहीं होंगे, तो मैं अकेडमी प्लेयर को आके क्या करूंगा। वो खुद ही डिप्रेस हो
इट्स
जाएगा यार, वो अकेडमी प्लेयर आके बोलेगा कि यार छोड़ बैंच, मुझे खेलना ही नहीं इधर। समझ रहे हो, मतलब वो भी बोलेगा ना, कल आके बोलेगा कि मेरे को नहीं खेलना यार, मैं कहा
हाँ.
मतलब अपनी करने के लिए खेल रहा हूँ।
वरना
एंड
हाँ.
दिस इज द दैट्स व्हाई आई अंडरस्टैंड रूबन आमरिन, में अपने आप को रूबन आमरिन पर रख रहा हूँ कि यार इफ आई वाज द मैनेजर, मैं क्या करता, मैं किसको स्टार्ट देता। मैं भी खुद ही पागल होता यार, मैं किसको स्टार्ट दूं, मैं किसको लेके आऊं, मेरे 1 गोल की लीड है तो मैं किसको लेके आऊं, मैं खुद डिफेंसिव अप्रोच में जाता। तो आई कनेक्ट माई मैनेजर कि यार मैं अटैकिंग में नहीं जाता, क्योंकि अगर उधर बॉटल रन हो गए तो ये गालियां पड़ेगी मेरे को, ऊपर से मेरे को प्लेयर्स को संभालने पड़ेंगे टैंडम्स वो अलग से। तो इसलिए मैं रूबन आमरिन को इतना ब्लेम नहीं करता, आई ब्लेम द प्लेयर्स राइट नाउ, क्योंकि वो इंडिविजुअल क्वालिटी बहुत खराब है हमारी। ब्रूनो ठीक है, कैसेमिरो भी ठीक है, बट द फॉरवर्ड्स है ना, कल जो एम्बोमो को मैंने देखा ना, मेरा खून खौल गया, क्योंकि यार यू कैन
Seriously, bro.
नॉट प्ले लाइक दैट, यू कैन नॉट
Yeah.
मेक बैड passes आफ्टर यू आर अ ब्रिलियंट सीजन, यू आर अ एम्बोमो भाई, तो बेसिक गलतियां ना कर। सरल लामेस को हम इसलिए प्यार करते हैं क्योंकि ही इज नॉट डूइंग अ बेसिक मिस्टेक्स लाइक ओनाना डिड।
Hmm.
गोल जाते अग्रेड, गोल तो फिर भी जाते हैं, हमको फर्क नहीं पड़ता, बट एक भरोसा आता है कि चलो एक बेसिक गलतियां नहीं करेगा, इसका डर नहीं लगेगा हमको। एंड यही मैं चाहता हूँ कि फॉरवर्ड्स के साथ है, हम नहीं चाहते भाई जो 4-5 गोल मार दे, तो बस एटलीस्ट गलतियां ना कर, पास कर आराम से, तू एक दो गलती ठीक है, बट पास कर आराम से, गेट प्लेयर्स नो उधर डालो डालो रन ले रहा है, एंड कुन्या एंड माउंट को पता ही नहीं वो डालो कहाँ भाग रहा है। एंड ये तो 2 गेम्स अच्छा खेल रहा है डालो। डालो इज कंफ्यूजिंग कुन्या फ्रॉम लास्ट स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द गेम्स ऑफ कुन्या। जब डालो आगे भागता है तो कुन्या पीछे आता है, कुन्या आगे जाता है तो डालो डालो बोलता है कहाँ पास करो। इज लेफ्ट की लिंकअप नहीं बन रही है, उधर राइट
सिंक
की
अप
बन गई
नहीं
है
है,
अहमद
हाँ।
और हाँ अहमद और
Hmm.
एम्बोमो की बन गई है, तो लेफ्ट की नहीं बन रही, क्योंकि डालो बहुत कंफ्यूजिंग खेल रहा है।
Hmm.
एंड अगर मैं खुद खेलता हूँ तो मैं भी कंफ्यूज हो जाता कि यार डालो डालो क्या करना क्या चाहता है, उसको अटैक पे जाना है, उसको बैक रहना है, मैं ही नहीं समझ पाता। बट चलो
Yeah.
अभी अभी तो लोग नहीं बोलेंगे उसको, क्योंकि उसने एक असिस्ट और गोल दे दिया है। और यही
नहीं,
डालो
नहीं.
डालो का हमेशा यही है भाई, कसम से ये है कि वो
Yeah. Yeah.
90 मिनट इतना खराब खेलेगा, बट एक ग्लिम्स ऐसे कर देगा ना कि उसको रूबन
Yes.
आमरिन खिलाएगा ही खिलाएगा।
Saket bhai, I don't know if you were watching the match yesterday because he had not scored in a very long time. He scored the goal and did 10 different celebrations. And then in the group, they were saying the next 10 months he will not score. So he did all the celebrations now
हाँ
itself.
हाँ,
That is
अब यार
exactly
वो
what
एक
happened.
थ्रो इन ऐसे कर देगा, वो एक असिस्ट मार देगा, बट 90 मिनट्स ही विल बी pathetic each and every game भाई। तो
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
भाई हमको एक लेफ्ट विंग बैक, हमको मिडफील्डर,
Mm,
हमको एक स्ट्राइकर चाहिए ही चाहिए।
mm.
हमको हमारा
Yeah,
सुधारना पड़ेगा, वरना द क्रॉसेस तो नहीं आ रहा,
yes.
आपको पता है क्रॉसेस तो नहीं आ
Yeah,
रहे।
yeah. But
जबरदस्त
and they're crossing
जबरदस्ती
when
क्रॉस लग
Sesko
रहे हैं मेरे
is
को, बट
exactly
मेरे को
Sesko is
वो
injured
हाँ वो
and they're
जबरदस्ती वाले
crossing
क्रॉस लग
now.
रहे हैं कि बाप को बॉल डालना ही पड़ेगा, वैसे वाले क्रॉस लग रहे हैं। इट्स नॉट इवन लाइक देयर वाचिंग द प्लेयर, सेस्को कहाँ पे खड़ा है या जर्गजी
Uh,
कहाँ पे खड़ा है, एंड देन आई विल क्रॉस। देयर लाइक
uh,
बॉल है डाल दो अंदर बॉल,
uh,
ये कौन सा टाइप का क्रॉस हुआ भाई।
uh, uh,
आई मीन दिस द यस
yeah.
प्रॉब्लम्स है, तो आई
Yeah.
थिंक ये करना पड़ेगा। दैट्स व्हाई आई विल गिव रूबन आमोरिम। मैं देखूंगा कि रूबन आमोरिम जाता है किसके पीछे, और जेन्युइनली पता चल जाएगा कि उसको किसको लाना है। उसको पता चल रहा है कि ये प्लेयर में दिक्कत है, ये पोजीशन में
Hmm.
दिक्कत है।
Hmm.
तो एंड आई एम होपिंग कि ब्रूनो इज लीविंग नेक्स्ट समर। आई एम होपिंग, मेरे को चाहिए नहीं बट आई एम होपिंग ही इज लीविंग,
But
क्योंकि
he's your
मैं
best player.
ही इज वन ऑफ
Yes.
द बेस्ट प्लेयर भाई। एट द बैक
Hmm.
आल्सो नंबर 1 ऑन असिस्ट है प्रीमियर लीग पे, अभी 5 है उसके पास। इवन दो बट यार वही मैं आपको चार्ट दिखा ना कि उसको पूरी पिच भागता है वो, उसको जरूरत नहीं होती है उसकी पूरी पिच
Hmm.
भागना। इसका मतलब ही इज नॉट ट्रस्टिंग हिज ओन प्लेयर्स एज अ कैप्टन।
On place. Yes.
ठीक है, तो ये मतलब ही होता है। एंजो
But
अभी मैं एंजो
actually,
फर्नांड।
but Yash bhai, yesterday actually, after he made the substitutions, I think once he removed, I think Cunha, he played Bruno R10. That's why Bruno, if you saw those last two chances, he was closer to the box क्योंकि वो R10 खेल रहा था, right?
नहीं, वो खिलाता है,
R10
वो ये
खेल रहा
बता
था.
रहा हूँ। वो
हाँ,
खिलाता है, वो लास्ट 4 गेम से ब्रूनो को आगे
हाँ,
खिला रहा है, बट लोगों को
हाँ,
नहीं दिखता क्योंकि ऑन द पेपर वो नहीं दिखता है वो चीज।
दिखते.
जब आप देखते हो कि इंटेंसिटी कहाँ पे, वो खिला उस ब्रूनो आगे ही खेलता है वो।
हम्म,
आप देखना कल की गेम, मेरी वॉच लॉन्ग देख लेना। मैंने 50 मिनट पे मैंने देखा कि यार ऑल द प्लेयर्स एट द फ्रंट। पीछे कौन था? एडन हेवन, लूक शॉ, माजरावी और कैसेमीरो। ये 4
हम्म,
बंदे पीछे, बाकी पूरी की पूरी स्क्वाड ऑन द हाफ। मैंने बोला कि गोल
हम्म,
आएगा 10 मिनट में, देख ले दो। लिटरली गोल आया। बट जैसे ही गोल आया ना, हम लिटरली डिफेंसिव अप्रोच हो गया रूबन आमने का। एंड मैंने तुरंत
exactly.
बोला कि हम लोग कंसीडर करने वाले, मेरे को डर लग रहा है
हम्म,
कंसीडर कर दी।
हम्म,
इसलिए मुझे पता था कि यार होप छोड़ दी थी मैंने कि यार नहीं भाई, नहीं होने वाला, क्योंकि वो लोग जा ही नहीं रहे सेकंड गोल मारने के लिए। तो
yeah,
कहाँ से हम लोग और 1-1 के लिए आपको पता ही है, जब तक वो
exactly.
90 प्लस 5 मिनट की विसल नहीं बजती ना, तब तक लाइक वी कैन बॉटल एनी टाइम। चेल्सी ने तो किया, आई थिंक ब्रेडफोर्ड के सामने हुआ था आपका, और मैं तो वॉच लॉन्ग भी कर रहा था। तो यार वन आई थिंक वाज 1-1 किया था, एकदम लास्ट मिनट में
Mm-hmm.
ब्रेडफोर्ड 2-2 किया था।
2-2
तो
हो गया.
बहुत खराब लीड होती है 1-0 वाली, कभी भी बॉटल रन हो सकती है। एंड
Yes bhai.
तो
थैंक
दिस
यू
इज
सो मच यश भाई, मतलब हमने
कोई नहीं यार।
इतना ऑलमोस्ट 45 मिनट्स 50 मिनट्स रैंट किए थे, एंड मोर इम्पोर्टेंटली आई वांट टू
अरे
थैंक यू क्योंकि वेरी मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंट क्या होता है ना, आई रियली लाइक व्हेन दे समबडी ऑफर्स एन अदर पर्सपेक्टिव, क्योंकि मेरा सारा फ्रस्ट्रेशन मैं बोल दिया था, आपके सारा फ्रस्ट्रेशन इधर यू हैव टोल्ड, बट वी स्टिल हैड अ डिफरेंस ऑफ ओपिनियन, बट दैट इज व्हाट आई रियली लाइक कि आपके पर्सपेक्टिव से कैसा ये सब आप देख रहे हो, एंड मोर इम्पोर्टेंटली आई वांट टू थैंक साकेत भाई फॉर सिटिंग थ्रू दिस थेरेपी सेशन विद अस, just being silent and providing his thoughts, but we will quickly do prediction of against Wolves, Yash bhai. What do you think will happen against Wolves away? Wolves have
लॉस,
not won this season yet, by
वो
the way.
जीतेगी इस बार, वो जीतेगी।
Who,
वो एक
Wolves
गोल
or
मार के ना,
United?
वो जीतेगी भाई। मैं मजाक नहीं कर रहा, सच में बोल रहा हूँ कि यार वो एक गोल मार के ना
अगर
पीछे
वो
जाके बैठ जाएंगे भाई, वो नहीं आएंगे। वो एक पेनल्टी या कुछ भी करके वो बैठ जाएंगे और हम लोग स्कोर नहीं कर पाएंगे, क्योंकि मैं
Hmm,
फॉरवर्ड में मैंने जो कल देखे ना, जो लास्ट गेम की परफॉर्मेंस देखी है ना, तो मतलब मैं भरोसा
mhm,
नहीं कर पा रहा कि हम स्कोर कर पाएंगे। बट मैं ये बता रहा हूँ कि अगर 5 गेम निकाल दिया ना, अगर नेक्स्ट 5 गेम कुछ भी करके द विंस, चलो
hmm,
नेक्स्ट 5 गेम, बट 7 गेम में हमने 6 विन निकाल दिया ना, तो वी आर गेटिंग टॉप 5 पोजीशन भाई, वो 100% श्योर है।
okay.
तो आई एम ऑप्टिमिस्टिक इन दिस वन, बट अगर मैं कल के विन तो नहीं देख रहा है, मेरे को होप ही नहीं है लग रही। आफ्टर लुकिंग एवर्टन लॉस एंड देन वेस्ट हैम ड्रॉ,
West Ham.
मेरे को होप ही
Hmm,
नहीं है भाई।
hmm.
क्रिस्टल पैलेस
Saket
भी
bhai, your
बुल
thoughts?
क्रिस्टल पैलेस की बुल में आ गई थी, बट
yeah. So so against Wolves, I think you'll win. At least Mumbuemo masterclass आने वाला है. Mbuemo,
Mhm,
because he's going for
आई
AFCON,
होप
so I
यार, आई
think
होप।
he'll go with a bang for sure.
hmm,
इसलिए मैं
hmm,
सोच रहा हूँ उसको लेने का FPL में.
hmm,
But
hmm,
that's what I'm thinking. He'll do good. And if you're not winning against Wolves, change your t-shirt color then, because they are the worst
hmm.
team this season. जी
Why they
seriously,
could be,
मतलब उनके
they
साथ.
could be
नहीं,
the
सच
worst
बात है यार
team
वो
in the
तो।
Premier League era by, like they are
Hmm.
projected to win even less than that 9 points that
Mm.
I think it was
Yes.
QPR or somebody whoever won
कल है
something
ना,
like
कल
Mm.
कल एक मैड्रिड फैन मेरे से वॉच ऑन करा था। ही इज लाइक, यश भाई कैसे यार वेस्ट हैम 18 नंबर पे, एंड गेटिंग अ ड्रॉ अगेंस्ट इट। मैंने उसको बोला कि जिरोना ने क्या किया फिर रियल मैड्रिड के साथ, एंड ही इज लाइक ओके ओके। क्योंकि जिरोना वाज आल्सो 18 एंड ही जस्ट दे जस्ट ड्रॉ अगेंस्ट रियल मैड्रिड। तो वो भी कुछ नहीं बोल पाया। मैंने बोला सेम आंसर भाई, जो तू सोच रहा है वही है आंसर है। कुछ एक्सप्लेन करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है।
Wolves have played 14 games this season and have scored, have only gotten 2 points with two draws. Matlab, just imagine if we lose against Wolves. I mean, heads will be in Mars. But anyways, it is what it is. We'll quickly go through some comments before we show. We'll have a quick FPL session as well, where Saket wanted to show his team and talk about some of the tactics that he is going to use and probably some transfers that he's going to make. Quickly, we'll go through Vijay's comments. He's talking about United, Yash bhai. वो बोल रहे हैं कि you get the players, then Amorim does not do well, then you sack him. Next manager आएगा, chop and cut and change, rinse and repeat life of Man United fans since 2013.
अरे अरे मुझे एक बात बताओ गाइस, अगर कोई भी मैनेजर आएगा वो क्या डिमांड करेगा पहले मुझे बताओ। मान लो कि रूबरान सैक करता है, क्या डिमांड
Yes.
करेगा हरी भाई? है तो रूबन आदमी क्या मांग रहा है? वही तो मांग रहा है कि मेरे
Intensity
को
भाई.
मेरे प्लेयर्स दे दो,
Exactly.
है ना? तो बस यही तो चीज है यार, जो रूबन आमरे मांग रहा है वो दूसरा मैनेजर मांगेगा आके। वो बोलेगा कि सबको निकालो, दूसरे मेरे को देके दो, क्योंकि ये लोग मेरे आइडिया पे नहीं बैठे, ब्रूनो को बेच दो। वो रूबन आमरे बोल सकता है कि बेच दो इन लोग को, दे दो मेरे को मेरे प्लेयर्स। तो दैट्स व्हाई आई ट्रस्ट रूबन आमरे यार। मैं अभी डिल्यूजन बोलो क्या कुछ भी बोलो, बट फिर दूसरा मैनेजर तो सेम साइकिल पे यही है ना, फिर ये साइकिल कभी एंड ही नहीं होगी फिर तो। एक ट्रस्ट दिखाना पड़ेगा मैनेजर को।
Yes, bhai. Yes, somebody has to show the trust. हम ही नहीं ट्रस्ट कर रहे वुल्स के हिसाब, the worst team in Premier
हाँ,
League है रहा,
वही
तो
तो बोल रहा
कैसा?
था, अगर एज़ अ फैन्स हम लोग अपने बोर्ड को ट्रस्ट नहीं करेंगे तो कौन करेगा?
हाँ,
चेल्सी वाले थोड़ी
हाँ,
करेंगे।
हाँ।
दैट्स व्हाई आई एम ट्रस्टिंग माय बोर्ड एंड मैनेजर कि भाई कुछ भी होता है आई एम बैकिंग यू, बट यार कुछ तो करो यार, और क्या।
Brilliant. Chalo, bhai. Saket bhai, I'm going to bring your FPL team on the screen now. And then we are going to go through it to see what you have in store, what is your thinking behind the team. And let's see if this works. So, yeah, it does. So, Saket bhai, first of all, somehow you have managed to get 58 points last or this week, which is the average. And I'm guessing that is quite good because most of them didn't manage to get that 58, even though the average is quite high. So, do you want to talk about what you had thought for this
So
game
yeah.
week? What went well
Hmm.
and what didn't go well? Yeah.
So actually, this week I was trying to be very much, I would say, confident about United. So that's why when I analyze, so basically it was a captainship. Whoever is getting a good
Issue.
points the last game week, which issue was basically captaincy issue between Haaland as well as Fernandez. And when I
Correct.
saw that Haaland was playing against Fulham,
Yeah.
against which, if you see the whole 13 matches which has gone so far, they have only allowed one striker, one forward to score a goal. Other
Amazing.
goals were all scored by a midfielder.
Okay.
And if you see the last two games where City has played, like the
Mm.
last game which City had scored, I think 3-2 against, I think it was Wolves or which team?
Uh,
Uh,
Leeds
it
only,
was
by
a
Leeds. It was
sorry.
Leeds only.
Leeds,
3-2
yes,
was
it was
Leeds.
Leeds only. Yeah,
Yeah.
3-2 was Leeds, and Haaland didn't score any goal. So it was
Yeah.
Foden and all. So that's why I
Yeah.
thought like almost every game I have been choosing Haaland as a
Mm.
captain. Why not choose
Mm.
someone else? So that's why I
Mm.
went with Fernandez, and then it was a
Yes.
disaster. I would say it was a
Yes.
disaster because my
Yes.
other team where I had chosen Haaland as a captain, it scored
Mm.
78 points.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was
Amazing, by that's good.
anyway, so this particular week, since game week 16, is
Mm-hmm.
a game week where we are all getting five free transfers because
Hmm.
of
Yeah.
AFCONs.
Yeah.
I won't be making a lot of changes.
Mm-hmm.
I will be introducing a very different approach. I will be basically taking out Pope
Mm-hmm.
because he is basically injured. I
Mm.
want to introduce Raya as my goalkeeper
Goalkeeper.
because
Mm-hmm.
once the AFCONs, yeah, so Raya will come in for Pope and the
Mm.
other squad remains same. Haaland will
Mm.
start. Mateta is not in very much good form, but I think
Mm.
my whole core structure will remain same because Timber will start. And I
mm,
think this core structure will help in. I'll just introduce Raya as a goalkeeper option
mm, mm.
against Pope, and that's how I want to go ahead for this game week. Not
Yeah,
much many changes on that.
looks amazing, Saket. By one question that me and my friend were also discussing was Saka versus Foden. Considering now Saka, even the assist against Chelsea, for example, was his first assist in a year or something. His output is not that great when compared to someone like a
Yes,
Foden around, and I think Foden comes for cheaper when compared to Saka. So, are you
eight point
thinking of
eight
that
point
as
one.
well? Yeah.
So if you see, so first of all, if you want to believe in Pep's rule, please believe in
Mm,
that, because
mm,
apart from Haaland, not a single City player is permanent, at least in the
mm,
mid. So Foden,
mm,
even that's why even if you see a lot of games, what
mm,
Foden has started, I think Foden has started last two games back to back. But
mm,
let's say
Mm.
you sit on Saturday, you see the match
mm,
tomorrow, I think Foden will
mm.
not even start
But
because you
he's
have
the one in
so many
form,
good.
Saket Bhai.
Yep.
Like
You
he
don't
is
know Pep.
in.
You don't know Pep. I'm telling you, the Pep is such a asshole for FPL. He will take an inform Foden and bring in
Mm.
Marmoush or a Cherky or someone like that, and
Yeah,
he'll
yeah,
just say, "This is how we play." He'll do that.
yeah, yeah,
That's why I
yeah.
don't
Mm.
want to spend 8.1 on a player who is
Mm,
not going to be a 90-minute starter in a team full of backups. That's
mm,
how
mm,
at
mm,
least
mm,
I believe in playing.
Doku
I
लेके
believe
आया,
in, so
Doku
that's
लेके आया.
why, yeah, Doku, I would say it's still a better option because Doku has been playing very consistently and
mm,
every match, almost every match he's playing. But
mm, mm, mm,
but somehow I want to invest more on, I would say, players who are a 90 minutes back-to-back
mm,
starter. Okay,
mm,
Fernandez might not have given me point this particular. I actually got him
mm,
this week itself,
mm,
this particular week, game week 14.
mm,
But I would
mm,
say if you keep him on a persistent, I would say scale, he's
mm,
gives a lot of points. Like average,
mm,
even if his defensive contributions have been good. So
mm,
this season, at least the defensive contributions are adding up to a lot of points. So
mm,
that's why your Elliot Anderson, or you can
mm.
say, what I would be doing when Safcon comes in is take Semenyo out, because Semenyo has
Exactly.
completely been out of form after this
Mm,
injury. And if
mm.
my funds allow, I would actually like to bring Doku in for Semenyo. That is something
Not
that I have
Neto,
been
by
thinking.
because I was also thinking Neto is also a good shout out
Yep,
because
yep.
Neto has been doing
Neto
well, and Doku,
Neto
as
is
much
doing
as he
well, but if
performs.
mm,
Yeah,
Yep.
I just wanted to finish my point that Doku, as much as he
yeah,
performs, his output, he's not an output or an FPL player, as they say. You know what I mean? Like, he'll do all
yes,
of the flashes of brilliance. He's a brilliant player nonetheless. But when it comes to FPL, he doesn't give so many points. That's what my
Mm.
experience is, at least.
yes.
Hari bhai,
So at least in the
I, I
yeah,
I have to leave. I have to join one more stream here. Is it okay?
Sure, sure. Yeah, yeah. Please. Thank you so
It
much,
was a
Yashbhai, for
thank
sorry
joining
to
us.
interrupt, but it was a great talking to you guys. But मैं
Yeah, yeah.
संकेत भाई will be in touch. मैं
nice,
आपको follow करता हूँ, ठीक है इसके बाद. मैं फिटनेस
nice, thank,
मांगूंगा आपसे क्विज, but thank you so much यार हरी भाई for invite.
thank
Will
Yeah,
looking forward for more shows as well. मजा करेंगे, ठीक
yeah,
है.
yeah.
But
Absolutely,
love you guys
sir.
so much,
Yashbhai,
man.
whenever we do live streams,
सॉरी
we'll
मैं
keep you in
जा रहा,
mind.
मैं जाता नहीं हूँ ऐसे, बट यार वो मुझे आधे घंटे से जाना पड़ा था. मैं बोला रुक जा भाई, मैं आता हूँ. ठीक है, बट
Thank you
oh,
so
it's
much,
nice,
Yashbhai. See
nice
you.
having
Yeah.
you.
थैंक यू सो मच गाइस,
Thank,
थैंक यू सो मच,
thank.
एंड आई होप चेल्सी विंस एंड आल्सो यूनाइटेड विन. चाहोगा तो यही, बट मेरे को लगता नहीं यार, मैं इतना अभी मैं क्या बोलूं यार, उम्मीद तोड़ दी इन लोगों ने. बट चलो यार, थैंक यू सो मच गाइस. I'll see you
Same
guys
Thank
words.
you,
soon.
thank.
Same words.
Bye bye, take care guys.
Josh,
See you.
bye
See you.
bye. Take care, man.
Perfect. Yeah, Saket.
So
Before we were
yeah,
Vijay's comment. Yeah, Saket and FPL. I'm guessing he's
he's like,
enjoying. He's enjoying all your explanations. Looks like. But let's go back to that. Let me just bring it back again. We were talking about Netto and how what that could mean. Yeah.
so you can actually project the other team, James of Thrones. I've actually
Mhm.
got Neto also in that team. So
Okay.
that particular team, why? Yeah. So why? So there's something that I find Neto very interesting as a chap, because yes, as I mentioned at the start of this podcast itself, that Neto has been playing brilliantly. But
Mm,
yes, his timings will be coming under control after certain time.
mm,
By the kind of matches which are coming back to back for Chelsea, if you see
mm,
the kind of fixtures that we are having, Mostly, I don't think Neto will be playing more than 50, 60 minutes back to
Mhm.
back. And that is going to be something which, at least from an FPL perspective, it's something that we need to be very much aware about. Plus, if you see this season, all the midfielders who are under top score are those players which are basically CDM or which have good defensive contributions.
Defcon.
So you have defcons are very good. So even Bruno is having a lot of defcons sometimes. Like last to last match, he didn't score anything, I think, but
Mm.
he had a good 4 pointers or something for defcons also. 11
Mhm.
defcons. Elliot
Mm.
Anderson is giving good defcons. Caicedo, I had Caicedo. Actually, I removed Caicedo for Bruno. Even before his red card, his defcons were amazing. And
Mm.
these are the players who are actually topping the chart. So
Mm.
this season, this DEFCON's additions have been brilliant. At least
Yeah.
even if that person is not getting an assist or a goal, they are giving
Yeah.
points. So thinking
Absolutely.
from a long-term perspective, I would rather have someone who can give me some points on that rather than giving me no points on assist and
Mm.
goals, something
Mm.
like that.
Mm.
I think from that
Nice.
perspective.
Amazing, Saket. By one question that I had when I also looked into your FPL is in both the teams you have Gueye over Munoz. Any thinking a particular line of thought there? Because Munoz has been somehow one of the most highly
Yes.
sought after defenders, and he's one person who also gets a lot of goals. I guess he has the most goal assist contributions this season as a defender, if I'm not
Yes.
wrong. Yeah.
Yes. So if you see, Munoz is on 4 yellow cards.
Okay.
Anytime he might be getting,
Nice.
yes, he is on 4 yellow.
Nice.
Yes. So he might be getting out mostly, I think, by 15th or 16th. So
Hmm.
that's why if I had to replace Sensei, who was again a defcon monster, I
Yeah.
chose Goe rather than Munoz. Munoz might be
Brilliant.
getting a yellow card very, yeah.
Amazing, Saket bhai. So well thought out. I thought this was very, very helpful, not just for my FPL team, but I'm guessing whoever's watching as well is helpful for their FPL team. How you approach, what is your thinking behind everything? Because sometimes, you do FPL based on gut as well, or what you remember, but you have a
Yes.
very structured approach to how you do FPL. So
Thank you.
looking forward to having your FPL teams. We'll have this conversation sometime in the future as well. But thank you so much for joining us, Sakit Bhai. You are on vacation in Darjeeling and you still chose to join us. Thank you so
Anytime.
much for that. And it has been a wonderful stream. I hope everybody who's joined in has not just enjoyed talking about Chelsea and our Man United rants, but I've really enjoyed this FPL snippet as well that Sakit has been able to provide. So thank you so much for that, Sakit Bhai. And also, more importantly, I had so many people actually message me on my WhatsApp regarding your inspiration for fitness and the word on discipline already, actually. So, thank you so much for that. And I just want to say it's been a pleasure having you and looking forward to having you sometime in the future.
Yeah. Thanks again, Hari. And I would say anytime, whenever you are calling me, I'm just a call away. So thanks for
Thank you.
having me again.
Thank you so much, Saket Bhai, for all your support. And I just want to say to everybody in the comments as well, thank you so much for commenting, for engaging. You brought a smile on your face with some of the comments. So thank you so much for that. And as the time comes to end this stream, I just want to say, as part of this podcast, which as we always say, since we are called Football Corner Pod, we say take care, be safe, and stay. Yeah, and please take care of any corners taken quickly, yeah, especially if you're a Barcelona or a United fan. You got to make sure that you take care of that, yeah. See you, Saket. Bye, have a nice one. Yeah, see you all. Bye, bye, bye.
Take care.